Hello, everybody. It is the RP Ginger here, and we are running Storm King's Thunder once again tonight. We're going to hop back into it right after the epic fight with the Cloud Giantess Lord Sansari, the Lady of Masks, who has recently smashed the two stones of night and noon together, creating a song of storms and turning herself into a giant, combustible, uncontrollable, raging storm, which she evidently enough was unable to control and exploded herself and her castle, Lynn Armal, causing it to shatter into 100 different millions of pieces and shatter through the night sky. The party recently flying on the back of Legolas was barely able to keep things together, but now touches down onto the ground with a little bit of a rough landing, but comfortable enough as it gets after the circumstances that just happened. And you look behind you now and you see that the sky is falling with hundreds and millions of pieces of burning debris that once was the giant floating castle Lynn Armal. You see it coming down, pieces touching the ground, hitting some big craters, some small, some carcasses, others just charred remains. And then in the distance, you see dark storm clouds that still remain, that were once Sanctuary, but now they just look like a distant storm that is kind of calming, yet in the distance still booming. The occasional boom of thunder and the spark of lightning licks across the sky as the last few burning remains touch down and the night sky goes dark again. As you guys are trying to collect yourselves, considering what happened, life and death just narrowly escaped, you hear the sound of a winged beast screech, and you look and you see several shadows flying, these wingspans rather large. The two riders on the back of them, the wyvern riders of the dragon cultists, now quickly come in upon you, and before you guys even have time to really think about anything, collect yourselves, lick any of your wounds, you now see that Delphine and a few of her men, she's back to consciousness. The last you've seen her, she was fighting and caused the navigational orb to be destroyed, which was the last kind of blow that made the floating castle start to descend. She is now back to consciousness, but badly injured, and she steps off of her wyvern, this red-scaled beast, and begins to limp in your direction with several of her peons behind her, these dark-robed men and women. And she instantly looks like she has a pretty upset look on her face. And she comes to you, Warren Dell, and says, "All right, Warren, we don't have any time. We need to start going around and looting and making sure we grab whatever we can of what was in this castle and get the hell out of here. I don't want to hear any complaints about it. Now's not the time."
You look like shit.
As do you. But seriously, no fucking around. That's an order, she says to you with a rather, you're used to her speaking disdainfully to you, but she seems like she's rather sour for sure and kind of giving you the short end of the stick right now. Well, what are you waiting for? Do you not remember the deal we made, or do I need to remind you? And she reaches into her shirt and pulls out a vial around her neck now, a necklace, crimson red. You made a pact with me, Warren.
What is she talking about, little man?
Over at Octavius, he mentioned he had some spells and stuff left. Do you need a bit of healing first? My friend, he has plenty of spells.
Hey, I told you there's no time for this. Give me an insight check, Warren.
Where is it? Insight. That's a shitty one for me. 2.
Yeah, she's just being a really big bitch to you right now. Maybe it's not out of character, I guess, but she's angry. And her talking to you like this, for some reason, is irking you the wrong way. You feel angry. Normally, this kind of thing wouldn't really be getting to you, and you would just joke around with her, but it's kind of pissing you off the way she's talking to you. And she says, "You can heal when we've looted the remains and collected all of the goods for Klaus. There'll be time for that later. You're all not injured enough to be whining and whimpering around.
I offered
Get
it
to
to
work.
her, if that matters.
So I don't need your healing. Anybody else that wants to make an insight check can insight check on this person too.
Are everybody else around me, or is, so I don't know how we had to set up. I know at the end of the last game, I was trying to fly towards her, so I don't know if the others are actually around me or close.
I mean,
Or
technically with you, right?
Yeah, that's true. We can say that Livy's definitely with you, and I imagine that Fagolis probably would have tried to touch down with you. So it's up to you whether you would have wanted some distance or not. But I imagined everyone all together.
Yeah, so Rick would be there because he's on full goals right now.
So yeah,
What are you talking about, little man? What deal did you make without us?
I don't know what part of this you guys did not understand, but we're not here to discuss what's going on here right now. You're here to do what you're told. If you have a problem with that, then we can solve that right here and now. The way I see it, my people risked their lives, and many of them died to save your asses, which is the situation you got yourselves into. Now, he made a deal with me, and he's going to honor it. And in the distance, you see someone starting to also ride in on the back of a wyvern, but go ahead and say what you're going to say.
say I'll look around at the others. You can see that spark in Warren's eyes that he's getting obviously really angry really fast. You guys do anything?
Octavius will, as your eyes scan by, you'll just lock eyes with Octavius, and you'll see a slight nod in your direction. And you can see in his eyes that, he's behind you.
Delphine is holding this vial, this necklace around her neck, at you almost menacingly now, like she's going to use it as some kind of weapon. And you do see about 20 feet away another wyvern with about 6 more riders behind it touch down. And she looks back and says, "Shit, fuck. Warren, I'm not joking around. Get to work now."
No.
I don't think you have a problem, little man.
You're such a fucking asshole. You know that. It's going to be so much worse for us if you don't listen right now.
Didn't give me a reason to listen to you. You've done nothing but fuck me over from now anyway. And I like pissing you off. Since I'm happy to lend my aid as needed, but I'm not going to work for you. I work for Clout.
To which the other pack of people who were touched down behind now arrive, and you see a figure pull back a cloak like many of the dragon cultists all wear, and you see this silvery white hair tied in a tight ponytail all the way back with a silver kind of crown on his head. The center point of it is the maw of a dragon. You see this man with abnormally dark as night skin and elvish ears. You recognize him as a drow. And he looks to Delphine and looks to you guys with a smile on his face, almost intrigued, and says, "Delphine, is there some sort of problem here?" To which she says, Brexler, no problem here. I was just telling these guys that they owe us a favor, and that they're going to be helping us out. And Warren's actually working with Klauth. He'll be more than happy to do so. Isn't that right, Warren? To which, before you even get to answer, he says, "Excuse me, Delphine? Did I hear you say asking? Does a dragon ask its cattle if it's okay to eat it?" And he rips the necklace out of her hand and says, "Bend your knee, cattle." What do you do, Warren?
To me?
Yeah.
Just offer a warm smile. Wait,
Yeah,
how the hell am I supposed to help if I'm on my knees? I don't think we've met.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
You always give me wisdom, and I suck at wisdom.
Blame Wizards of the Coast in designing their spells.
Wisdom. Oops. Bear with me a second. My
No worries.
doesn't work the greatest. 16.
16 is. Let me just check here. I think that might be enough. I gotta check the character though. Sorry. I should have had this already up. Where did he go? There he is, and he has 16. Yeah, it's enough. So you take half of 17 damage, psychic, which is, I believe, 8 damage.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that knocks you unconscious, doesn't it? Or does it?
53, 66, right on the money, yes.
And you fall to your knees unconscious, to which he says, "That's more like it. Now pick him up, Delphine."
Before you
Go ahead.
before he even hits the ground, can I like utter a healing spell so that he doesn't necessarily go unconscious?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he falls down regardless, like to his knee, I guess at least. And then you can definitely heal him if you wish to.
Give me a second. I would like to, and I'm going to do this very quietly. I'm not trying to be like I've been very quiet this whole time. I'm not trying to disturb anything. This will actually use up my last.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, now that you come back to consciousness, you're momentarily confused at what happened, Bornendal. And your head is just pulsating with pain, and you're starting to get more angry, and you look up and you see this drow there smiling before you, and he says, "Now that's more like it. Now that we've gotten off to the right start here, I don't think there's any reason that we need to be enemies. We are working on the same side after all. I should introduce myself as Brexler, Clouth's High Captain. Now, Delphine here, she's more, I guess how you can say, polite than I am. I don't like people not listening to me, not following my orders. If you follow my orders, then there'll be no problem. You'll learn your place, like the cattle that you are, and me, the dragon, well, I'll keep being a dragon."
And if you don't.
I'm going to step forward at this point and just, we don't work for you.
I'm sorry. I guess you don't quite understand how this works here. Your friend does.
Yeah, it appears as if he does, Octavius.
Warren will look at him and I don't know, am I conscious or no?
Yeah, you're back to whatever Dan healed you, 5 points of healing.
Okay.
So go ahead and mark that. And as you are trying to collect yourself, Warren, and maybe give some kind of answer, this rage inside you is like swelling up and beyond, almost getting beyond control. It's up to you whether you really want to start giving into it or try to will over it. But right now, it's like this uncontrollable anger, and you want nothing more than just to kill this man that stands in front of you. Or at least that's the feeling that's welling up inside you.
Oh, that's the feeling you would have regardless, so. You see Warren slowly pull himself up, obviously in pain, and he's quite bloodied and battered as it is, but he'll look at this, still offers that arrogant smile, smirk in the corner of his face, and he just spits at this man's shoes. "I do not answer to anybody but to myself. You can kill me if you have to. It won't make a difference. But I'm gladly will help if you would like a bit of help."
He gives a chuckle. A stubborn one, I see.
I've been called to this.
I like it when cattle are stubborn. But Delphine told me that you made a deal and you gave your blood to save your friends. So, while I have no doubt in my mind that killing you would be putting you out of your sad misery, seems like you maybe care about others a bit more than yourself. And while your friends don't work for Klaus or for me, it seems like they've been wrapped up in your games whether they like it or not. And I would take very much pleasure in seeing them all suffer for your inability to listen to me. And you now see that along with Delphine and her men and the wyverns that they were riding on, and then this man and the wyverns that they rided on, you guys are heavily outnumbered. Now you can keep the tough guy act if you want, but I will get my way. You will go over there, and you will find whatever goods are left in that giant scum's castle and hand them over to me so that I can bring them to our master. Do I make myself clear?
I'll help you. But what else would I have to do to get that amulet?
There is nothing you can do to get this amulet. A pact has been made. Your friend serves us now. And you said you're already pissed off in general, Warren. But do you see yourself succumbing to this kind of primal rage, or is it just your natural rage?
I would imagine a little bit of both.
It's up to you. Basically, there's something that's pulling you to do something, and it's up to you whether or not you give into it.
Okay, I see.
And if you're going to fight it, it's going to be a wisdom saving throw to fight it again. This isn't the necklace this time. This is something else. Or you can just give into it.
No, I think he would give into it. I mean, he was looking at the others more, hoping that they weren't kind of in the way, but as this would build, he would most certainly.
All right, so yeah, you then stand up and you let out this roar. And as you do, shooting from your mouth is a bolt of lightning. Warrendale almost seems as if scales begin to appear on his face, and his face almost takes a draconic-like shadowiness to it. You don't know if it's the lighting or not, but as lightning shoots out of his face, this man, Brexler, just narrowly jumps out of the way as you suddenly cast Dragon's Breath, an ability that you were not able to do just moments ago. Drexler gets up. His men now all have weapons drawn at you. The wyverns flap with anger and eagerness to strike at you, and he holds up his hand. That is a very interesting ability you have there, Warren. Tell me, how did you come to learn to do that?
It can do worse.
I have no doubt about that. Maybe I was wrong about you being cattle. Maybe there's dragon in you after all. Help me. Grab some of the things here, and if you find something to your liking, maybe I'll let you keep it. Come on. He holds out his hand. We can be friends, even though we're employee and employer.
Does he still have that amulet thing?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Let's see. Warren's nose will scrunch up a little bit. He has a bit of surprise that maybe his friends would probably see, kind of just at the edge of his face, a look of astonishment, I guess. You look at them, and he looks at the sky, and he sort of smears off the blood that's on his hands and holds it out to shake this guy's hand. Does he do so?
Yeah, he'll hold his hand out first to pick you up off the ground, and then as you do, he'll go to brush you off and shake your hand. Absolutely.
Yeah, what the hell? When he touches my hand, I have one spell left thanks to leveling up. going to cast Hold Monster on him.
Well, but wait a minute, we didn't level up yet, though. Because we haven't had
Oh, we didn't?
No, we never rushed yet.
Yeah, sorry. Technically, I guess I should have said that before game, but technically, you would
Well,
rest.
I can use my source. I will use my sorcerer points then. I won't have any left, but it'll still let me cast it.
Okay, what level of spell is that?
The level 5,
Okay,
DC 19.
is absolutely
wisdom.
going to try to counterspell that, but let's see how it goes for him. So level 5 means he has to succeed on a DC of 15.
I have no clue. I don't know.
No, that's correct. 15.
Okay.
Yeah,
and,
10 plus the spell level. Past level 3.
and he does he actually fail? Oh my goodness. Let's see what his is it again? Sorry.
It will be a 15 because it's
No,
a spell level past level 3.
Oh yeah, then he gets to make. So yeah, he doesn't counterspell this, so he actually has to make the save. Holy shit.
DC 19 wisdom.
Wisdom? All right. Let's do that. This might be interesting. Yeah, you have him hold.
I'll come in close. This absolutely arrogance. It's not a sort of smile. Give him a pat on the cheek. Imagine all the others are probably kind of at arms or whatever too. But I'll reach up and snag that vial or that amulet out of his hands, put it on my pocket. We have a deal. Now let's go. Now turn and just walk away.
Yeah, as you go to walk away, you see a whole fuckload of weapons pointed at you, to which you also see Delphine with a look of just I don't want to say sadness, but like she doesn't know what to do, and she just looks to you and says, "Warrendale, it can't go like this."
Says perhaps he should have a bit of manners. Says, give me a reason not to do this.
You made a deal. You made a deal with me. You made a deal to Klaus.
Then I will work with you. I do not know this man, and I am not a cat.
And Hold Monster, does that every round? Does he get a save, or is he stuck until it ends?
I believe it's at the end of each round. Let me look. The target can make a wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Yes.
Okay. So, he is going to make a save and make a natural 20, to which he says, Delphine, shut your mouth. Do not speak for me ever again. Warrendale, you can have that necklace, for you earned it. There's promise in you. Speak to me after you're done seeing what you can find.
It would be my pleasure.
And then he and his men walk away, to which some of them are like, we can't trust him. And then Brexler gives them like one look like, are you dare questioning what I just said? And they just drop their weapons and go back to, and then he says to you, if you need a moment to collect yourselves, feel free. But then make sure you get to pillaging. I'll be watching. And he walks away. And so do everybody, or so does everybody else except Delphine, I guess. But that kind of leaves you.
I'm gonna slowly walk up to Warrendale. Still kind of surprised at what just took place. Not only the confusion of the lightning breath coming out of Warren, but the whole interaction with the people and then the respect that was gained from it. And I'm just gonna kind of walk up behind him and be like, well, you might need this. And I'm gonna use 3 charges of my ring to actually use the power of my ring to heal Warren for an extra 25 points of healing, just in case. And I'll just stand there, wait to see what next is.
Go ahead and add that. And mechanically now, Warren, you can, as with a single sorcery point, either cast Dragon's Breath as an action or a bonus action. Actually, it's a bonus action, so you cast it as a bonus action.
Let me grab my notebook.
Yeah,
Actually,
I can just drag it onto your character sheet and then.
Okay, cool. Is there a chance you can change my hit points for me, because it won't let me type it in?
Yep, 25. Dan, you healed them for?
Yeah, it was 25
Yeah, so
points. The
he-
ring has 3 charges like for 25 points.
Okay.
So he should be at 30 total.
Okay.
Cool, thank you. Uh-oh.
And then, yeah, it's up to you guys now as they have kind of walked away. Delphine looks to you and was just like, what the hell was that? You're lucky you all didn't just get killed there. Drexler is ruthless. He's one of Klaus' highest ranking soldiers and merciless killers.
But don't worry, your little friend here is a merciless killer himself.
Yeah, but
and
perhaps I could take
Reich walks away a little bit and goes, "What do we need to do?"
Just look around the wreckage and see what you can find. As long as you guys get a couple trinkets or something of value, then I'm sure Drexler will be happy. You know how dragons are, Klauth. He just wants more and more goods.
If she's still,
I've never met a dragon before.
if she's still on the ground, I'll help her up at least. Anyway, I'm a gentleman after all.
She definitely fights it. She's a little pissed off at you right now.
But to my charming ways.
And then, yeah, she's going to...
I will continue to... I will go with my stump. And then I'm wandering off, like I'm definitely pondering what the fuck just took place over the last, 8 hours, 10 hours. Mm-hmm. But I will go start searching wreckage just to help Warren get out of this fucking conundrum.
Yeah, and Delphine is also going to go with her men and say a couple of good hours, and I'm sure we can scan whatever is of value in this place.
So do we need investigation checks?
Yeah, everyone can roll me an investigation check to see what they find from the wreckage as you guys start to head across the field to where all the debris has landed and start going through it. All right, so we got a 15 on Livy, an 18 on Octavius, a 8 on Reichliviant, and a 3 on Warren.
I found the rock.
You did find a rock, actually, a very nice one, but it turned actually just the charred bone of a giant or something. It's not even a rock. As you guys are walking through, actually, Fagolis comes up behind you now in his copper or in his halfling form, as he says to you, "Those guys were dragon cultists. They get really fanboy and girly around dragons, so I really didn't want them to see my natural form. Can you keep that quiet between maybe just us guys? I don't want like this whole stalker thing. Last time I ran into dragon cultists, they followed me around for weeks."
Saul, you've done enough. Thank you for your help. When you get a chance, you should get out of here.
Anyway, if anything, I should be thanking you. If not for you guys stumbling into that place, I'd still be getting tortured by that lunatic, Sansari, asking about, well, how do I complete the ritual for the Night in Noonstone? How do I end the world? Like, I don't know why she thought I would know this. It's because I'm an ancient.
That worked out very well for her. And now I have nothing.
Well, at least you still have the world. That's one thing to think about.
My world is gone. The dragon.
And
he walks off again and does some more searching. Not finding anything with an 8, I'm assuming.
No.
The castle crashed down on his whole, and Rick Levine's whole town. I don't know if it's actually a town or.
No, it didn't. It didn't fall down right on his. It kind of fell into the valley below the mountains that his tribe was stationed on. To which, when he walks off, he'll look to you, Octavius, and say, "Geez, what climbed in that guy's pants?" And that reminds me, you don't happen to still have that? You remember when we first met on the Grand Dame in Yartar on that gambling boat? Man, that was a heck of a time that we had. I remember how I got a little too drunk and accidentally transformed back into my regular self on the boat, and there was like these crazy assassins, and they were trying to kill us, and then we dealt with it, and they were gonna hang you for the execution of somebody. Man, do you remember that? That was wild.
I figured how to get you out of the river that day. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a heck of a day. You don't happen to still have that coin that I gave you, do you? That golden goose coin?
Octavius would believe he did,
and he would actually reach into your pocket and say, "Yeah, it's right here." funny story. You're gonna find this really funny. I thought you were such an interesting guy that I put an enchantment on this so that I'd be able to know where you were at any times. Unfortunately, I've been kind of trapped in the castle being tortured, so I haven't really been able to use it. But I was thinking, since now I helped you, you helped me, then I helped you not get executed, but now you help me again. So that I'm probably the one that owes you a favor. So what if I enchant this one step further, and you'll be able to send me a message when you need to call in a favor?
Oh, Saul, that'd be great. Thank you. A favor from a dragon. That'd be just awesome.
And he winks, and as he does so, the golden coins, and as he pulls out what everybody else sees, is this wooden coin with a golden goose stamped in it on both sides. And he winks, and as he does, the thing he flicks it up in the air, and it almost seems like it momentarily glows. And then, Octavius, you catch it in your hand.
Right.
Says, hey, that's what friends do, help each other, right?
Thanks a lot, Saul. Appreciate everything.
And basically what he did is he enchanted it with a sending spell. So you can send him a message basically anywhere, and he will get it and can respond.
That's awesome. Octavius has always loved Saul. He's been a great friend.
Yeah, and then with the rolls, sorry. Livy, which you find is a whole whackload of gold, hundreds and hundreds of pieces as you're going along. Handfuls of different gemstones you've kind of picked up along the way. You find this giant vial of potions, a couple of them that are a little bit cracked, but still mostly intact. You find a giant great axe and a couple of scrolls, also giant size, kind of inconvenient. They're like literally like full page, like they look like more like posters to you, I guess. And then Octavius, you find a black sapphire, some banner with a giant rune etched on it, which I believe you read giant, right? So you see that it is the rune of Krieg.
Ooh.
And the Krieg means war. And it seems like some banner which has the giant rune war on it. And so black sapphire, the Krieg banner. You also find a couple of potions and even more gold. Together, the two of you probably find around 10,000 pieces of gold and an assortment of different gemstones. And then one particular pearl you find, Octavius, sorry, that seems to almost hum with power as you hold it. And it has this faint glow to it.
I would hand all that I found over to Warrendale.
Yeah, I kind of envision that Livy has like her arms full of the potions and whatever coins she could stuff in pockets and whatnot. And then she's like kind of making her way back, has like one scroll sort of under an arm, trying to haul it along, and sees the great axe, goes, "Oh, there's this," and just hobbles over.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys are now all kind of by yourselves. I imagine you, Reich, is maybe just a few feet away or whatever, kind of by your own pile. But you now realize that it's just kind of you guys going through this in particular section of debris, and everyone's kind of finding their own things. And as you're kind of walking by, you can't really bring yourself to even be bothered to search for anything.
He's actually kind of faked that he was searching a little bit. Kicking things around, so on and so forth. But after not finding anything of interest to him, he actually has been holding the conch, right? What do we call that thing?
Yeah, the conch, this giant conch. Yeah.
He's been holding the conch the whole time, and he just cuts a section of rope off of, he has rope on him, and feeds it through the conch so he can wear it for the most part on his back. And he looks to the group and he goes, "So if we're done with whatever all this is, I think we need to talk."
What's your problem, my friend?
He is. And he points to Warrendale. But it seems to be him. Am I right?
Warren looks around rather as if he has no clue what you're talking about.
You got my whole fucking village killed, is what I'm talking about. Our little man.
The coincidence.
You can come with us on the quest that I had to do to save this whole world, and now you did it because you stayed. And how do we know you weren't with Sansari?
What?
Yeah, to be honest, I was.
Yeah. And he gets right up into your face and picks you up off of the ground. It's so you're the same height as him. He's like 6'4", and goes, "I would kill you right now, but it'd be too easy. Don't find me again." And he throws you across the ground, and you tumble a little bit, so on and so forth. And and I'm taking this thing, so I guess you'll need me before I'll need you. And he literally walks away from you guys and walks off into the distance.
What if he's doing the and just goes to Warren. They'll just make sure he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he threw him. I guess if there's throw damage that he wants to do, that is what it is. But he didn't do it.
I beat the shit up anyway, so.
Yeah.
He needs time to deal with whatever he's going through. We have to give it to him.
And and Reich walks off with the conch on his back, along with his weapons and so on and so forth, and does not make it like he's going to talk to you guys again.
To be fair,
walks in the direction that the village was.
Yeah. To be fair, though, Livy's thought process, and she'd probably like, if she heard Octavius, like, he just needs to go walk it off, be like, I guess in the end, if we have to forcibly take it from him, I guess better him than a giant. And so
Fagolis is like, well, that's a positive spin on such a sour situation. Nice job, Livy.
Lauren will pick himself up and watches this man walk away, but doesn't say anything. Kicks a bit of dirt. I found another rock.
Yep. And you guys kind of go on with your search. Not sure if you found enough yet, but you do have a whole list of things. The inconvenient thing is that you guys don't have identify, so there's really hard to tell what is what for use. But in terms of goods that you have 10,000 gold pieces, 30 gemstones that look like they're worth about 50 gold a piece. You found 6 gemstones, which looks like they'd be worth 1,000. And don't worry about writing this down. I have it all tracked in Fantasy Grounds. A black sapphire worth 5,000. And then all these other kind of scrolls and potions, and this one pearl in particular that you don't really know what it does. Anything else you guys do before we pan over to Corey or Reiklivian, rocking away?
take a nap.
Yeah, now would be a time to take a short rest for sure if you guys wish to do that.
Yeah, Octavius will start to mull over Rick Leviant, and he's certain that he just needs time, and he'll realize that, you know, his path is for the betterment of the world and not just himself, but still he's trying to keep an eye on him, see how far he goes, see the path he goes, see the direction he goes. So any perception or investigation checks I need to make to just kind of not obviously keep my eye on him, I'm not following him, but just to see the direction and the exact path.
Yeah, I'm not even going to make you make a perception check just because he didn't really hide it. You see that he's definitely heading towards the mountain where his tribe camp was.
Where the village was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you definitely know the direction he headed. And with that being said, the party continues to search for a couple hours. As you look around, you see other wyvern riders and the dragon cultists all kind of picking through the remains. And as it's going, hours passing, at the same kind of time, we flip over to Reich Liviant, who at first starts off kind of angrily walking away. There's scenes where he's actually starting to climb up the mountain, moments of just like pure anger where he's just yelling as he climbs and just giving it everything he can until he's completely out of breath. Several hours have now passed, maybe even like 2 hours, we'll say, and you finally, out of breath and exhausted, collapse to your knees and fall in front of where your old tribe's camp used to be. And as you look around, this distant storm still booming ahead of you, a lightning beam shoots across, or a lightning bolt, and it lights up And for a moment, the village is still perfectly intact, but then another bolt of lightning shoots, and you see that everything and everyone has been completely shattered, burnt, broken, buildings just knocked over, every memory of your life all broken and distant now. It feels all so far away, even though you're just sitting just in front of the city, distant like the booming thunder that seems to be clearing from the sky. Everything that you were, everything that you knew is now just completely gone.
So Reich would do the thing that anybody would do in a war zone like that if you're the one that is able to go back. He starts walking around the village, and I don't know if he can cry because of the way that he is. You know what I mean? Because of his eyes, like it's like, he doesn't have like real eyes in theory. But like, if anybody saw him, which there isn't a person here that would, they would certainly see that he is. The anger has gone from him, and now it's just all sadness.
Yeah, and as the anger washes over you finally, and you just give in to the sadness and let this emotion steep inside you, you hear a voice call from behind. You were never really good at being the angry one. The anger always suited me better, my husband. Tell me, why are you mad? You turn around, and standing there is Lorwyn.
But it's not Lauren, is it? I mean, Okay, so he walks up. What does he see? Does
He
it look?
sees his wife, but as you get closer and you're shocked and momentarily just kind of stumbling towards, you see that there's a bit of ghostliness to her. You can see through her.
What? Yeah. You know, my dear, it's the hardest thing I ever had to do was to learn how to be angry. And you taught me that, but in a very controlled way. And I'm going to be very honest. On the hike here, I wouldn't say it was controlled.
And that's why I said you were never very good at it. For me, it just came naturally. Someone pissed me off, I would just punch them in the fucking throat. You
It's a very interesting trait you have.
You always struggled with it, didn't you?
Or had. Yeah. Yeah, you know I did. And the Noonstone is gone.
In what? Do you think that means that now your purpose is gone? That you can't find a new purpose?
Why wouldn't it be? That Larwin. I just want to. And he falls on his knees in front of the visage of his wife. I just want to be with the rest of you.
She falls down with you, and even though as she touches you, you can't actually feel it, you feel a warmth inside you nonetheless, as you know in some way, shape, or form, she is here with you right now. And she says to you, "The children of the storm, my husband, have lived for centuries. They've lived for centuries before you. There were many storm heralds before you. And I think there will be many after you. Just because the purpose that you've been raised for is now gone does not mean that you cannot find a new one. Will you let what you were trained to always do vanish away? Will you let the story of the children of the storm end here? I don't think you will. Because that's not who you are. You're not this angry person. And although you do have a rage inside you, you do not direct it like that. You direct it controlled. You were trained to lead our people, protect them. And now that is more important than ever, for you protect the memory of us and you protect our future.
You're always right, Lauren. You're always right. And I guess another thing that I have to protect is all of this. Because we destroyed one of the gods. One of the giants. But, well, she kind of destroyed herself by putting together a Noonstone and a Nightstone, right?
Yep.
And it didn't do anything that we were told, to be honest. It made her all into a, I don't know, storm, I guess. And
She says
then
to you that there will always be people in need of someone who can bear the storm, right, Leviant? I see no one better suited than you to bear this storm. You are right to understand that there are forces at work here that are greater than our tribe or our camp or our way of life. I was too blinded and narrow-minded but now, in this state, I see so much further, and I can tell you, my husband, and she makes you look into her eyes, that I was wrong. There are forces at work here, greater than that of Sansari and the giants, conniving, evil forces that lurk in the shadows and are twisting their enemies against themselves to do the dirty work and fight. That is the entity that killed our tribe. That is the retribution that you seek.
and that little shit man.
No, my husband.
I'm going to kill him.
You
Laura.
wish it to be him. You wish it were that easy. But deep down, my love, you know it was not him. You know that it is bigger than this.
And the realization just comes over him, and I'm going to play a little Liberty on your side. I feel like maybe she has the ability to do this a little bit, but pushes up the mask so that you can see his face.
Definitely.
And, his blue eyes that are light, that are not, that are not eyeballs, project into her. And the realization that these are none of the things that his wife has ever said in the entire time that he's known her.
Absolutely. This is a different outlook for her for sure.
Yeah, very. And the realization comes over him, and he says, then I have no allegiance to the Noonstone anymore.
There is no Noonstone, my love. You are the protector of light, the herald of storms. But now, you are the protector of our memory, the herald of our people. You were born to lead, and you will always be a leader to us. And now, as your eyes meet her, you look and you see figures, hundreds of them, standing behind her. And as you start to see these ghostly figures, you recognize them, some as the tribesmen that you served with, and then their elders, as an army of shadowy figures now stand behind Lorwyn. And she says to you, our people will follow you, always, even in afterlife. Lead us now, my herald, to our next beginning. And they all simultaneously bow down before you.
And Reich stands up and draws his weapon off of his back. The double-sided. One side is a mace, and the other side is a long sword. No, great sword, sorry. And he holds it to his chest. And it arcs for the last time with any of that lightning damage or anything that he had before. And it kind of shoots out in a massive amount of direction. And you can feel and see all of that energy from every one of the spirits and ancestors that have fallen before him go into his body. And Reich Livian passes out immediately. All of the ancestors are gone. And I would like to take a long rest at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I think we all need that.
Yeah. So basically,
So then mechanically, so everybody knows, we did decide to change his path. and he's now the path of, what is it called? The Ancestral Guardian. And so I mean, there will be neat different things that he can do now. But it didn't make much sense to continue with what we were going with because the Noonstone was gone and everything that he was doing is gone. So yeah, so he will wake up in the morning, and mull over the conch and the new outlook that is much more positive than he's ever felt from anybody in his lineage, and feels that he has to continue on the path which was laid forward before him by the actions of the giants.
Absolutely. So we will say that you presumably then realize, waking up, that if you want to follow this path, that you will inevitably have to meet up with these people again. So you begin to make your hike back down towards them. And you guys, on the other hand, did not necessarily get a nice long night of resting because you've spent the last several or couple of hours going through, and you now finally have this hoard of treasures, the likes of which you could probably retire with and never need to work again a day in your life. And it is all now being taken from you, one item, one coin, thrown into bags at a time, and loaded into this massive wagon made of this dark wood, very ornate looking, and on the head of it, it has a figurehead of a dragon with its wingspans spread out before it.
I'm gonna turn to Saul and be like, "Don't."
He's twitching like
Don't.
crazy right now. His eye is literally
Don't you
winking
even
at
think
you.
about it.
And
Don't.
he whispers to you and he says, "Octavius,
Don't.
can you see that wood?
Oh, Saul, you don't even.
That looks like dragon-scarred moonwood.
You should turn the other way. Saul, stop it.
I can smell the gemstones from here, Octavius.
Stop it, Saul. Just turn around.
But is that a figurehead of a
Dragon?
dragon?"
No, we gotta walk over here, buddy.
And you pull him away, and he says in a voice, "It's so beautiful.
No,
I must have it."
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing over there.
To which, as you pull him away,
And I'm actually gonna hold on to him. I'm gonna try to hold on.
and he's twitching. As you pull him away, though, Brexler walks up to you, Warren, and says, "That was some good work you did there."
I know.
I don't mean this looting. You know that, right?
Then, no, I thought that's what you were talking about. Indulge me. What is it?
What you did there.
I don't get compliments very often.
That dragon's breath. I know that's not an ability that you normally have. This is something new from the pact you made. Delphine doesn't know this because she's more of a cattle. But us, me and you, and he slaps you on the chest, we're a different breed. We are beasts. We are powerful. We are the dragon incarnate, only flightless, yet nonetheless more powerful. You felt that coursing through you, didn't you? That power. It felt good. You pictured frying me to a crisp with it, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Well, you have great power within you, and if you give into it, you can truly be amazing. You can maybe even, and he whispers to you, be stronger than Klaus with the right amount of determination.
Wouldn't that be something?
Listen, I've heard of your mission. You're going to Maelstrom. Well, the necklace is yours. And don't get me wrong, if I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead right now. But I think this is more interesting this way. You take your necklace on good favor to me, and I'll let you in on a secret. And he's talking to Warren alone now. There's something that the Storm Giants have. It's called the Worm Skull Throne. It's a very powerful magic artifact.
My friend Octavius seems to know of this, but I don't know much.
Well, I've heard that the King Hecaton sits upon it, and this mighty throne alone has given him the power to bend all the other giants to his will. But with him gone, there's no one sitting on this throne. Well, what if that throne were to happen to fall into a dragon's grasp? A dragon like you or me. Then what do you think would happen? Keep that necklace as a good favor. And while you're in Maelstrom, you get a chance to get some insight on that throne. Or maybe even get your hands on it. Remember, me and you were a different breed.
Perhaps we can be friends after all.
I thought you'd see it my way. And he goes to shake your hand once more.
I will shake his hand.
And he says to you, as he pulls you in, and if you think of fucking me or betraying me, know that I don't need that blood to have you bend down before me at my mercy. And know that if you do betray me, death will be the last of your suffering.
I like the way you joke. Clap him on the shoulder.
Well, was there anything in there in particular that you liked? Any trinkets you'd like to take back?
Do I see anything? I mean, I probably would let the others pick what they want. I don't really know.
Yeah, and you guys don't really know what it is, so he'll actually tell you. I've had some of the acolytes identify it, some of the stuff. The more important things we will be keeping for ourselves, but there was a few potions of giant size. They're rather cumbersome, and you know that these potions are like literally like almost like jugs or like kegs that you'd have to carry around. And he would say they do the same thing as normal potions, but you just have to drink all of its contents in order to get the effect. So they're not really useful to us. They were a giant potion of fire resistance, of lightning resistance, of storm giant strength, and a giant potion of supreme healing. If you want any of those, they're yours. Also, there's this pearl of power. You can lock a spell into it, I believe, and then save it for later to use. And then a few scrolls, which Klaus will have no interest in. He's a powerful caster himself. A scroll of animate objects, of call lightning, or chain lightning, sorry, and of dominate monster. Any of that interests you or your friends?
Yeah, that you guys have first dibs. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't want to carry around a keg of
fire resistance.
Octavius would take nothing.
Octavius. Perhaps the pearl might help you. Some sort of healing or something. My spells come from within. It won't help as much for me, but
If it was offered to me, I would take it. But it's not something
You
that
can
I would
take
reach.
and just so you understand, Warren, you could use the pearl of power also.
right, I know.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, he'll definitely give you the pearl power if you want.
I'll take it.
Yep. So go ahead. I'll add that to your inventory in a second.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, he'd also tell you that the great axe is a giant slayer great axe. So it is gives you a little bit benefit fighting against giants, which could be useful.
Libby's like, I wish I was stronger. And if only that.
Will that resize if somebody attunes to it?
Yes.
Perhaps I should have the axe.
It's a pretty dope weapon for me. Sorry.
You just ran away, man.
Yeah, that's
Libby's like, oh yeah, so with us.
if that birdman hadn't run away, perhaps he would have liked this axe. Well, I guess I would have to use it.
Are you taking the axe?
No. I'd hold it up and look intimidating, but
Yeah.
it's bigger than me. I mean, I'll use the scrolls though for sure.
Okay, you're taking the scrolls. Okay. I'll put those aside to add to your inventory. And
Honestly, there'd be no reason for Octavius to take the axe, man. I wouldn't, I just wouldn't do it.
If they can give it to that other fellow anyway.
All right. Up to you guys if you're taking it or not. And then he'll throw you the black sapphire also, which is worth 5,000 gold, and say, on good faith, because I know we got off to the wrong foot. You guys did good work. Taking down any giant lord, Klaus would be more than happy about. If you're ever looking to join the dragon cult, come talk to me. He looks to you guys. And then with that, he begins to go away, but we'll say that just before he does, you, Reykjavian, finally make your way down and see that they're getting ready to leave with a wagon full of goods. The party there is kind of besides like the cultists are getting ready to leave, and then the party is just basically getting ready to rest now because they need a rest, which they did not get. You did get a long rest.
I'm gonna need a second before that long rest.
Yep, no problems.
Yeah, I mean, he would be still walking in a similar depressed fashion, but I mean, he would certainly approach the party. Did you see that message I sent you, Chris?
Sorry, I was trying to read it, but I was in the middle of speaking. So, blah blah blah.
Because the other thing was for the auras, and I don't have that anymore. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever makes the task.
If Reykjavian did walk back up to the group, though, Octavius would look to him and say, "It's nice to see you again," and then he would just go on about, just like nothing else. It's just nice to see you again.
Yeah, I mean, and he would just nod, and stand around a bit awkwardly. I mean, but seeing you guys look so tired, he's not going to talk to any of you yet.
Do you carry an axe already or anything?
No, he carries a very weird kind of custom weapon.
It's very
like
impressive,
I said,
though.
It's a long sword on one end and a mace on the other, so I can use both ends of it. But he, I mean, he's a fucking barbarian. Yeah, he could absolutely carry that weapon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like he would have been like, "Wait, you're back? Look to see where the caravan people are."
Yeah, I mean, but it is what it is.
Shot, she's gonna run. Wait.
Yep, they're not going yet, and they would say, some last minute change of heart.
Yes. And Livy will climb up into the one that has the great axe, and she'll do the whole lift, but
Yeah.
You might like this. And she'll just kind of point to it.
Yes, and indeed you do like that for sure, right, Liviant, as you see it, whether you want to admit it or not. It's a nice looking.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, he does. And as much as he again still doesn't. What?
Oh, nice.
Yes, he very much likes that. But so he would look at Livy and say, "You're the most sane out of these three."
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And it's super awkward. Like he he's not used to like being friendly to anybody that wasn't in his tribe. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm back and was set straight by some entities, but
all right.
I don't have to like him, do I?
No.
And he kind of looks over towards me.
I think nope. There's nothing that says you have to like him. But she'll kind of whisper, like, "You might grow on you." And then she'll be like, "But on a better note, though, this will be great because chances are we're going to run into more giants. It's going to be awesome."
And this axe is beautiful, but why would I need it? And he kind of taps on the back of his.
He's like, and she gets really excited. Like, they say that axe actually is particularly good with like giants are susceptible to it, and so you'll get a bigger punch with your swing. That's what they say, and anything that can help us because chances are we're not done seeing giants yet.
And I'm here to help you, actually. There, darling. So
Well, if you're angry.
Yeah, and he just kind of takes the axe, which is still very large, right?
Yep. In this current, you're gonna have to spend an hour with it.
Yeah. I have to attune to it, but and oh, okay, well, thank you. And he kind of holds on to it, and he's got 20, it's 20 strength. Where do I? It is like kind of one hands it. It like goes, and he's just super awkward, like really awkward.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Livy's just more like, cool. He's on our side. This is good. I hope they get along.
Yeah, and he does still go over and kind of sit away from you guys, and kind of does look at the axe for a while.
Looks at the axe. Sorry, I'm just trying to get all the
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As that's happening, it looks like the cultists, now that it's kind of like couple hours before daylight or whatever, are making camp for the night. They're not going to ride away with the wagon or whatnot. And Delphine comes up to you as you guys are getting ready to rest, and she looks to you, Warrendale, and says, "So what? You and Brexler best friends now? I've seen you over there talking to him. Did he promise you something?"
He can't resist my charm. You know how it is. You know how it is.
Right. Well, you guys have the conch. Seems like your local, whatever the hell he is, savage is back.
Oh, I get it. You're sad to see me leave, aren't you? I can hear it in your voice.
I don't know if I'd go that far as to say I'm sad, but it's going to be a pity that I don't get to see you squashed under a giant's foot. I was kind of hoping that I would watch it go down while we were raiding, but you're like a pesky fucking cockroach or something. You always squirm your way out, and well,
You don't seem like you like this man very much. Perhaps you'd like to tell me why.
well, I don't really think I need to write an essay about it. He's a fucking asshole.
So why don't you take his place?
It's not how it works around here. We follow Klaus. Klaus chooses who's in control, and as it stands, he has higher ranking than me. I'm sure after this all goes well, which you will make sure it goes well, maybe he'll see that differently. But now that Brexler is here and I had to call in for help to save your ass, well, I'm guessing that he's probably going to swoop in and act like he's done everything to save the day now.
Tell you what. I put in a good word for you, eh?
I'm sure that's going to go real far.
Yeah, you never know.
Just make sure you don't fuck this up.
You could use a good luck, yes. I mean, it's the least you could do.
I would sooner die.
Don't you worry, my love. You'll save the day. Put in a good word for you. You'll be a dragon knight rider fellow soon enough. Something like that.
Right. Well, farewell, Warrendale. And she kind of looks awkwardly at you and then scours and begins to walk away.
You too.
To which you guys set up for camp, and Phagolus or Soul comes up to you and he's, Octavius, I got a plan. This is a great plan. Hey, listen to the plan here. I, Octavius, I'm going to cause a distraction for you guys.
No.
And then you get away.
No. Saul, everything's good, bud. You got to leave this one go. I really need you to leave this one go. Just get it out of your head, buddy.
Give them a persuasion.
Give them like a mile in the morning, and then take it. You know they love dragons. You know they'll just love seeing you. You know they're not going to care if you take it. Just wait until morning and wait until they're like a mile or two ahead, and then it's all yours, buddy.
Give me a persuasion.
Fucking dragon and his goddamn love of bullshit. Persuasion, where are you?
Does he like wood?
Oh, he loves fucking wagons, man.
Oh,
His character, he's obsessed with wagons.
Damn it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't want to get you guys in any worse trouble. I won't.
Yeah,
I
no,
won't take it.
just till morning, Saul. Just till morning. Just till morning, Saul.
Okay, let's get some rest.
Oh God.
And
Rick Levine, can you watch him?
you guys can.
Reich is not near you. You can go over and talk to Reich, but he's not near you right now.
Fuck it. No, I'll just say it like scared. Like if you hear me, you hear me. If you don't, you don't.
No, I'm saying he didn't hear you because he's also not trying to pay attention to you.
That's fine.
Okay, so you guys get ready to do the rest. You've been kind of chilling for the last couple hours, so you basically just need to sleep for a little bit to get the effects of a long rest, which I'm going to go ahead.
Before we do go and crash out.
Yep.
You guys have gotten used to Octavius's nightly routine, and by nightly I say usually before a long rest. Octavius will, take out Sunlit in the Darkness's weapon, and he'll whip himself, or he'll sacrifice his suffering up to a matter. But tonight, for some reason, or at this long rest, you don't see him do that. You see him kind of sit down in a confused way, and instead of getting into a sleeping position, he gets more into a meditating position, and you just in his mind, he's going to start just rethinking the last little while. He's going to look at his stump and just kind of fall into a meditative trance. And, as the night goes on, oddly enough, you're going to, if anybody is watching the group, or, as the night extends before morning, an odd blue radiance has come over Octavius. And he's just almost looks like he is sleeping, but in a meditative stance. And he's got this weird blue aura. And that's what you guys would wake up to.
Awesome.
Yeah. And if they're going to sleep, he already did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would like to attune to the axe.
Yep. So you attune to the axe. You also are attuned to the teleportation conch now.
Mhm.
Do
they both shrink?
Yeah.
Then?
Yes.
Okay, so
the shell does stay still pretty big, actually, like probably the biggest she shell you've ever seen, but it does come to your size a bit more. My understanding is that Octavius, you're taking the Pearl of Power. Okay,
yes,
so
ma'am.
Added to your inventory then. Who is taking the Black Sapphire? Do you want that, Livy? Sure, she says.
Yeah.
That is worth 5,000 gold. So that's in your inventory. And then this Giant Slayer's axe is going into Rygliviant's inventory as we speak. It's actually a +2 giant slaying axe, so that is a real big boy that you got there. And the scrolls are going to Warrendale. Are we all good with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let me do that to get this out of the way. And then I have to really figure out how to use this party to get better. We make such.
Livy totally wants to see this chain lightning take off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and there's so many cool things that we've all got. I'm sure that it's gonna be fun to figure it out.
So you can click on the things in your inventory if they're magic, and it will give you the description of how it works. I believe it should. You realize that as you attune to the conscious teleportation, that as an action, you basically need to blow into the shell, and then anybody. It will cast a teleportation spell to a certain area. No matter what, it will never misfire or be off target. And then anyone touching you actually will teleport with you. So that's how you actually use the conscious teleportation.
There's no mention of any magic abilities with the pearl, just that it radiates luster. I'm sure that maybe I'll learn later.
I have to turn it on probably. Let me see here. Is this the pearl power? Yeah, sorry. Now it should show up as a pearl power for you.
And I don't have the conch in my inventory. Is that a thing that I can have?
Yeah, you could have that. Sure. Let me give it to you. Conch, a teleportation. Let me make sure the ID is on it. The ID is on it. You're good to go.
And do you know what the 3 spells? Because it just says exceptional, expensive, and lavish for me.
Oh, interesting. Sorry, I forgot to turn on. There's this thing called hide ID, and basically I can hide what things are called. But I will turn that off. And now they should be popping up. Lavish. All right, there we go.
Yeah, and the conch didn't show up in mine, but maybe I got to jump back
Should be
into
there
it.
now. I see it. I see it in your inventory. It's up. It's like the third thing down.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny. I had to jump out of it and jump back in. That was it.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah,
no. Cool.
as you
Thank
guys wake up from a long rest, you wake up to the sounds of yelling and racket is the only way that I can describe it. Your eyes shoot open as you just passed out from a completely exhausted night. You can no longer bear to stand up. And you, Rycliviant, who was awake this entire time, kind of lost in a trance, suddenly spin around to see an absolutely massively winged beast of copper scales, wingspan fully spread, his claws into the back of this wagon as men are around him screaming and yelling, "Hey, give that back!" And he lets out a powerful repulsion breath into the floor, which just sends everybody flying. They start to throw their spears, and you hear him howl out, "I'm sorry, Octavius, I waited for morning!" And then begin to start flapping.
Just let him go, guys. Just let him go.
To which several men jump on the wyverns and start to give chase after him as you see the wagon start to fly away in the distance. The other men actually look back towards you guys menacingly and say, "It was part of their plan. They're robbing us." To which, if you were going to use the conch, now would be as good a time as any.
Yes. And Reich will look at the party and goes, I don't think they're going to be very happy with us anymore. Seeing your friend, the dragon, is doing all of that. Do you want me to use this? And he does pull out the conch.
I think it is time.
The men are getting closer and closer now. They begin to run with their weapons drawn towards you.
And this weird blue aura is still over.
Where are we going? Because I have to know that, right?
Nope, you just blow it and it goes to where it goes.
Trust in the conch.
Yeah, and he does look quickly at Warrendale and says, "I forgive you," and then blows into the conch.
And you blow, and there's this mighty kind of almost horn-like sound that blows out from it, emanating much louder than you actually thought. And you see that the rune inside of the shell's lip begins to glow this energy. Octavius, you would recognize the rune as saying Maelstrom etched inside of it. And as it begins to emanate out, the sound of this blowing then begins to blur and echo out. And then the sounds of it almost start to sound like a washing tsunami-like wave is coming over you guys. And before long, it feels like you're just light and swept away, as if a wave just hits you and carries you along in a torrent. You guys feel like you're spinning upside down, right side up. You don't know. You've lost track now as you're just flying around in this darkness. It feels as if water is filling up your lungs. But then, within an instant, all of that terrible feeling washes away, and you feel the floor below you. You look around now, and you're in a massive room. There's a sound of dripping. And as you look down to the ground, you see that you're standing in a glowing glyph that begins to diminish beneath your feet. And as you look around, you see these small crabs scuttling away across this purple stone floor. You look around the walls of this room that you find yourself in, absolutely enormous, and the walls seem like natural stone covered in coral, barnacles, and there's these bioluminescent lichens that are glowing and lighting up the room. You see snails and starfish slowly climbing their way across these walls, and you hear the sound of hissing. As down to the south of this room, many feet away, you see a drifting cloud of warm steam start flowing out of a southern corridor. And then the sound of a powerful female voice singing these deep and haunting melodies to the tune of what sounds like a masterfully composed organ tune. Just fills the room. It's a haunting but beautiful performance, and the sound seems to be coming from a spiral staircase, 40 feet, actually more than that, across the room towards the western side. Towards your north, as you look around, you're in the northeast. You see another long, massive corridor. This room, you're no stranger to it now, is sized for giants. You've been in a couple giant fortresses now, and you're accustomed to this large, extravagant size. And this is no different. This fortress is definitely designed for giants. And you see a hallway to the north, a hallway to the east, steam coming from a corridor to the south. To the west, the spiraling staircase where the beautiful melody is emanating from. And then just below this spiraling staircase is a massive 40-foot wide, naturally carved pool. What do you guys do?
And do a quick perception to make sure to see, like, is there any hidden areas where things could hide? Are there eyes on us? Stuff like that.
Go ahead and make a perception check. You do not see anything but the snails, the crabs, and the starfish. You notice that the crabs themselves seem to be crawling away from this glyph, as if not wanting to get anywhere near it.
Yeah, I'll read the glyph.
The glyph just seems to be a glyph of storm, it has written on it. So I'm going to share you guys a map. It's going to be much too large, so you'll have to resize it. And then if someone wants to jump on the screen share, let's do that so that anyone watching can also see the map. But it's going to pop up absolutely get on this at first. And then I will sync your guys' view so that you're seeing where I want you to see. And yeah, this is kind of the yourself.
Actually, it's not enormous in my side. It's kind of weird.
At this point, too, anybody who was noticing would see Octavius, and oddly enough, after everything that's happened, his armor would be glistening. It would be shiny again. His stump would be healed over completely. He would have, like I said, this weird blue aura, and he would have a different stature. He'd be standing up more straight. Other than that, it would just be this regular old-looking Octavius.
You do have a stump now, or did you get your hand back?
I do have a stump, I believe, but it is completely healed over, and it's like oddly healed. It's only been a day, I mean, maybe hours since this really happened. Since, you know, probably within 36 hours that it happened.
Yeah, that was a very strange thing for you to do, sir. Yeah, I mean, Reich would definitely be looking about, and so besides the little creatures, we're alone, really, right?
That's how it seems for sure.
Yeah.
I would start walking towards the pool.
So
Yeah.
I assume that this is let's see.
Right, follow that.
Yeah, you walk towards the pool. It seems like Livy does the same. And as you get to it, you would see that it seems like the pool carries down and is at least 30 feet deep at the bottom.
Man, just if all this didn't happen, then what he was before would have been super helpful. But anyways, but yeah.
The performance seems to be coming from the stairs grows louder, as if it's kind of coming to some kind of climactic point, at which point you hear a beautiful organ solo begin to be played.
Can we tell what direction it's being coming from?
It's coming from the staircase, which is leading upwards.
Shall we? We've come here for a reason.
Do they know we're coming?
Probably not. We had a friend who could. Said she met these people, but
You have friends.
Lot.
He has many.
That's amazing. So then they're expecting us so we can make way.
Let's act as if they're not expecting us, and pretend as if they are.
All right, so you guys begin to head up the stairs then, from my understanding?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I'll look to the group, and if they're following, I will start my trek up these stairs.
Yeah, I would go with him.
She was just kind of
Yeah.
curious what this bluish thing over here was, but
Seems to be some bioluminescent lichen.
it's so cool.
Bioluminescence. What is it?
Lichen, just like basically some kind of glowing plant.
Oh,
If I look at the roof above it, will I see anything?
The roof above just seems to be the same kind of barnacles and chloral all around it.
Okay.
So we seem to be in, like in the ocean, like underwater.
Hard to tell. You don't really know. Nothing has given you that yet, I guess.
Because of still who he was and who he is, he's not really afraid of the water. He's gonna kind of go stick his head in the water to look around.
In the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you jump down into the pool, and you actually would notice that as you jump into it, it does actually descend 30 feet down, and then as you get to the bottom of it, it actually carries on towards the southwest. And before long, it's like this little underground kind of tunnel that leads to a portcullis. And as you come up to the portcullis, you would see that it opens up into a massive swirling pit. And I'll reveal that on the map also in a second.
I mean, I would say that he still has a lot of that ability to swim. Like that's it was a barbarian trait before, kind of, but you don't forget how to swim.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
I'd say you know how to swim still. Fede Sigans is really not like me sharing this map.
Yeah, apparently
It
not.
should reveal to you guys now, or did it not? Yeah, it did.
Get there, little by little.
And you see that basically this is like a massive sinkhole, and thrown around this sinkhole is debris and sharks, shipwrecks, boxes, and everything that you can imagine just smashed into the bottom of this. There seems to be a drain in the center, and then looking up, if you can, you see that there's like a swirling water tornado or like a cyclone that just emanates upwards for as far as the eye can see. It seems like you're in some kind of rocky pillar, and all you can see is water.
Yeah. He would certainly swim back and say, that is a whole bunch of a place we don't need to go, I don't believe.
All right. With that said, you guys carry upstairs then?
Yeah. If you're not a strong swimmer, I don't suggest trying to go there.
All right. Upstairs you go, and the music swells louder and louder as you go.
Map. I hate these maps.
As you do, the music fills your ears, and you arrive into another absolutely enormous opening that opens up to this massive room. The stairs also carry upwards even further if you wish to, but you instantly realize where the music is coming from now. As you see this enormous room, there is seems to be two levels to it. On the outside is a 15-foot high ledge off to the northeast, and it seems to raise up. And these gentle ramps sloping upwards are where the music seems to be covered from. And you see this giant crab And this hulking crab seems to be colored with nodules, and these hollow flutes and beautiful coral seem to be growing out of its shell. Sorry. And as you look at this, you see a giant woman, a storm giant, kind of beating some sticks into the side of this giant shell. And as she does tap it, the nodules or the glowing kind of coral on the back of this crab exhale and blow out air. And as each time she does, it produces this beautiful tone like a pipe organ. Sorry, I got this cough now. I can't get rid of it. Standing next to her, singing, is another beautiful giant woman, and she is singing this impressive melody. And I'm actually going to share you an image of the two just rocking out.
What coming to hasn't always been this good.
Interesting. And that's what's going on there.
I had to play it for a second. I knew what it was going to be. As soon as
They had to go came about it.
Yeah. And they are rocking out and giving a performance to a bunch of other giants of different caste system. You see one that looks like a fire giant, a stone giant, a hill giant, and a cloud giant, all sitting down and listening to this performance. And before we carry on, let's take a quick 5-minute break because my throat is absolutely killing me and I need to take a drink, all right? So let's take a quick bathroom break and get a drink. All right, be right back, guys.
No worries. Thanks.
Just a quick question to the group. Octavius is under the impression that we're actually supposed to be here. Like,
Yes.
I'm just gonna walk right into the room and be like, "Hey, what's up?" So
it certainly seems that way. But
like, I know, but I don't think they're gonna react well.
From now on, all stems around that session where Sonny died, and I wasn't there. So I have Corey really has no idea.
The problem is Sonny's the only one that knows one of these chicks, isn't she? Like,
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, and now we're fucked because she's dead.
I
mean,
I have her weapon, I have her comma, but they never knew her for the comma. Maybe I can be like, I knew Sonny, blah 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 blah.
the All Eye dude, though, kind of told us to come here. I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, Chris did give us a pretty cool the things you would know thing.
Yeah.
Again.
I'm gonna go for it, and if it happens, guys. So,
Well, you know what I mean. Like, okay, so the questions asked the Oracle as a refresher for you guys: can we stop the rain from spinning out of control? Get to the maelstrom and root out the evil within. Where the constant teleportation? We did that. Who killed Zephyros? Some person. Hecaton, we have no idea where it is. How do we find the maelstrom using the couch? And where is the skull throne? And that's in the maelstrom. So
yeah.
I don't think that we're actually invited, but
none of that
Funny
sounds like we're gonna be safe if I'm like, hey, what's up, everybody?
no.
Yeah.
So then, I know for a fact, unfortunately, she's dead. And it would have made all of this much easier because I would have been like, oh, look, I keep wanting to call her Sensory because that's who we just fought. But I don't even have that sheet anymore. So, but I befriended the daughter of the storm giant, or she did, and we don't have that anymore. So now we got to be maybe a little more persuasive.
New map coming in as you guys went to the second level. I have like this itch in my throat. I've been fighting off a sickness now for the past 3 days, and it's getting the best of me.
That sucks, dude. I am going to take a couple puffs of my cigarette, but because we were talking about things.
Yep. No worries.
Chris, we're actually maybe planning something.
Whoa. You guys?
Yeah, I don't think so. But
well, we're starting to converse about something for the first time in like 2 years.
Come on.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you guys at all.
No, I mean it's crazy. But yeah, it's, the only thing I can say, guys, is that we're not supposed to be here at all. But we're gonna make.
I like that you guys waited until you got here to plan. That's what I love about you guys.
Well, we didn't really have much time to plan, seeing that the fucking dragon decided to fuck everything up.
Hey, listen. Fagolis would not appreciate those claims. All right, he has an addiction and he's very aware of it.
Yeah, well, sorry there, Octavius. You could have said, "Hey, you can't do anything until we leave."
He was jonesing though.
He was jonesing hard. Wagons are his ultimate weakness. Oh god, I froze Fantasy Ground. It really hates sharing these big maps.
Yeah, Saul's a dick about the wagon. But I knew it as soon as you said there was a wagon. I'm like, fuck.
Take some inspiration for remembering that. I wasn't sure if you were going to remember or not.
I was all over that, man. I can't. I'm like Saul's like Octavius' oldest and longest friend at this point. Only friend, really, because like Octavius never made friends before.
Hey. You're
No,
a friend in me.
You guys have definitely become family. But Saul was like there before any of you guys.
He was there from the very
And trust me, the life that Octavius had before you guys, he didn't have many friends, man.
So there should be a new map that's popping up for you guys. And that is basically what you see.
Okay. So, yeah. Livy, I'm not sure if you heard the plan, but I have an idea. And it might be a little scary at first.
sounded like we're going to be referencing Sunny.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna see if this plays out, and it might not. This might be the end of the game, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea there, but I have a thing that I get with my new path that I can use now that will tell us kind of an answer-ish thing. So why don't I do that real quick, and then we'll go on.
Do me a favor, close that map, Mary. We're on a different level now. Let's see if the other one popped up for you.
Yeah.
Close that.
Just should be Maelstrom L2.
There it is. Hidden way down beyond.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no, wait, no, I didn't. Okay, cool. I thought I closed it.
Yeah, so those two girls are the ones playing up here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Stop that at once. Let me ping. That's not what I wanted to do.
Hey, it's the shiny crab.
Can I do a history check to see if the princess of this place is actually called Princess Cherie? Is that her name?
I don't know if you would actually even have a chance. Go ahead and give me a history check.
Because Sonny would have told us, right?
Yeah, Sonny would have talked about that.
Okay, yeah.
I just want to make sure I have the name proper. Damn it.
This roller hates us, dude.
What did you think it was?
Princess Cherie.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
It's close.
Nailed it. 10 out of 10.
But
all right, so yeah, we're back now. What are you guys doing? You're basically at the stairs, so I guess right now you're going to give me a stealth check if you guys are planning not to make yourselves aware.
Okay, Octavius is gonna look to Livy and say, maybe we should introduce ourselves. And he's gonna try to ask Livy to basically walk into the room with him.
And
Yeah. Assuming she's also kind of in on the like, yeah, I think this could work fine.
you know, in not knowing, I cast a spell that I have now called Augury, and I talked to, I guess, Lauren. I don't know. I don't know who I'm talking to, but
yeah, Lauren, that sounds cool. That you pull it up. Let's flavor it like that, and you basically, let me see here. By casting blah blah blah, rolling dragonstones. So how do you feel it would implement for you? You basically perform a ritual.
Yeah, is it a so is this going to well, those four options are there. Is this going to have a good result, a bad result, both, or nothing at all?
You're just asking that straight up. Is it going to be good, bad, or both?
Yeah. Is this going to be no? So okay. I'll RP it. And so he connects with Lauren through this ability and says, "My dear, is walking into this room going to be a positive or negative situation?
She would reply back to you, my husband, there is always good and bad in any circumstance. To which she replies, weal and woe, both good and bad.
Right. Yep. So, he would quickly look at the group and say, I think the way that we handle this will turn the result in either direction.
Rick Leviant, no offense, my friend, but please let me handle this.
He is a master with words.
I think that's a wonderful decision. I'm a master of destroying things.
As, if Livy is willing to come with Octavius, before we actually walk into the room, Octavius, in this new manner of his, is going to look to her and say, Livy, my friend, and he's going to touch her on the back and say, you'll be able to understand them now, but please let me talk first. And I'm going to cast tongues on Livy.
And Liv will just nod.
It'll basically give you the ability to understand Giant and I believe speak it, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I think so too. We can double check, but definitely at the very least.
And language, so that sounds
So
like
the spell grants you grants the creature you touch the ability to speak any language it hears. Speak and understand. Yeah.
Okay, so as we walk to the back of the group, just around this first shell, I believe, that thing, Octavius will say,
crazy.
Octavius will actually speak as loudly, but as clearly and as most accentuated in Giant that he possibly can. And he's going to say, we come by way of the Oracle. We seek the princess. And I'm gonna, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, you just like speak that?
I'm gonna speak that in Giant, yeah.
All right. The performance is booming so loud that your voice is instantly drowned out.
I will keep walking until I am noticed.
All right, you begin to walk in further and further. And you basically get right up to which the Storm Giant guards, these two massive hulking 30 feet tall monstrosity men, then look upon you. They're wielding these enormous great swords. And they all suddenly point their weapons and stand to alarm. The other giants, the Firestone, Hill, and Cloud, one spins around and notices this. It's a female fire giant who lets out a scream of disgust. The music stops playing, and everyone in the room now looks at you. You have the attention of
Livy's hands are up.
Giants.
Then I will, if the music is quieted down and everyone's focused on us, I will say again, as loudly as possible in Giant. We come by way of the Oracle. We seek in peace the princess.
The giant lords sitting on these shells all look in confusion, and then all kind of simultaneously, along with the guards who now begin to pound up and get close to you. They flank you on both sides. The two girls by the giant shiny crab look at each other and then say in Giant, "What foolishness do you speak, small folk? How could you know of our oracle?"
That is why I brought my friend. And she will explain what we are doing here. We know that the princess knew a friend of ours, Sunlit in the Darkness, and we come by way of her. But to help explain, I figured Livy would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, Livy would just sounds like Sunny had mentioned you, and we are on a quest, and so well, behold, we are here as means of divine intervention, and believe that it is through here that we should gain aid.
Yeah, I brought Livy for her awesome bubbliness and her exuberant ways of storytelling, so that they would realize that we were just no threat and here for his friends.
Divine intervention, you say you bring. Yes, the other one says, divine intervention. The other sister looks at the sister and says, that's what I said. What do you puny folk know of divine intervention in our giant ways?
Sorry, go ahead.
I would speak up. I am the undaunted legion of ill matter. We have been brought forth to cease the ordaining. We have been told of the ways of your folk, and we bring help. We must speak alone with the princess.
Speak alone with the princess. Speak alone with the princess. She is far too overwhelmed with important matters than to deal with your puny, insignificant ways. I don't know how you got here. Yes, how did you get here? You... And then the other one looks, perhaps, sister, they are assassins. Like the ones who killed Mother. Yes, perhaps you are assassins. Coming to finish us. And our foolish, overburdened sister.
Let me be like, I would imagine if you had assassins being assigned to you, we would be very insignificant on that retrospect. One, we announced ourselves, and two, as you put it, we are puny.
Yes, they are rather puny. They would be bad assassins, sister, if they did that. Yes, I know they would be bad assassins. Of course, they're assassins. Well, regardless of what you are here for, I promise you that my sister is far too overwhelmed to deal with your matters. All of these other giant lords who are far more superior, yes, they are far more superior than you puny folk.
That they may be, and she kind of looked at Octavius, but unfortunately, this matter that is kind of all of our...
The frost giant stands up, who is a tall, powerful-looking female. She has these two long braided pigtails on each side of her, and she actually looks like she kind of has like a 5 o'clock shadow growing in on her face, this white hair, and she says, I, Helen Hild, am Frost Jarl Empress of the far northern realms across the sea. How dare you say you have more right to speak to the princess than me? I have been here for hours listening to these fools drone on. There is no way you will see the princess before me. To which a cloud giant speaks up, and he's kind of wearing these fancy robes and has this golden monocle and says, you first, Helenhild. How do you think that you would be presented to the princess before I? I am a cloud giant, second to all giant kid. The all kind means nothing anymore. The outer inning is shattered. You are no longer second. We are all equals now. And then the female fire giant speaks up and says, there are no that are equal to the fire giant. We are far superior to all of you. To which then it all begins to start bickering between themselves. No, we're better. No, we're better. Stone giant.
Oh, shit.
This is the first time you've seen a stone giant, actually. He just looks like he's actually like, he almost looks like he is a man made of smooth black stone. Bald head and just black pupils, really like not a whole lot of features going on. Just wearing simple clothes. He's just kind of sitting there with his legs crossed on a shell, shaking his head, not really getting into this argument at all. To which the sisters hold up their hands and say, silence, silence! Our sister will speak to you each when she has a moment. Yes, our sister will speak to you. That it is shortly. You small folk, you puny insects, you have disturbed our guests, our company. And it's just absolute, like, this is definitely obviously not going so far into your favor.
Yeah.
So what do you guys got?
We did not come here to get in any of your way. We will wait. We have no problems waiting. We just seek court with your princess by way of the oracle. Your oracle sent us here.
Our oracle. What oracle do you speak of? Yes. Which oracle do you speak of?
Well, that one, because, like, whatever.
And
like
Livy just kind of has this look of like,
questioning me. Like, come on.
there's more than one oracle?
Be like, we the one we found beyond the north, beyond the ice sheets, beyond.
Helenhild says they probably mean the Eye of the Allfather in the northern spine of the world.
That was it.
That has been lost to all of giant kind
Damn.
for many, many centuries. How could you puny brains find such a ancient temple? To which the sisters are like, "Oh yes, the Eye of the Allfather. Of course, we know what that is. Yes,
This is
of course I know
exactly.
what the oracle is."
This is exactly why I brought Livy along. Livy, can you tell the people about our giant friend, please?
Oh yeah, she would go very much into just how they got there, how they went in, the wonderful debacle that they had. Names are escaping me. With one fellow who was also trying to get to the oracle and beat them. Got in, asked her 6 questions, which he would.
That is a
And then I would
beautiful
tap Livy at that point and be like,
expression
"Oh,
of
don't give him too much stuff."
And then we got in and
Ooh,
Do you mentioned Harshnag though?
yeah. We talk about him.
I think
Telling it. Yeah, we do. Fucking right.
Helenhild, the frost giant Jarless, speaks up and says, "You know Harshnag. He is a half brother of mine, a very brave warrior. And you say that he teamed up with the likes of you."
well,
Yeah.
yeah, because he was he traveled with my grandfather, and so
You bring great shame to the frost giant ways. Prove yourself in battle. To which she holds out her great axe and says, "If you are worthy, then you can face me." To which the sisters say, "No, there will be no fighting in the Great Hall. The Great Hall is not a gladiator pit. None of it. Yes. Like my sister says, like my sister Neem says, no fighting. Yes, Miriam, that is what I said. You do not have to repeat everything I say. You sound like a freaking echo. No, you sound like an echo, Nim." And then they kind of start going at each other. Give me a persuasion check, either one of you, or one of you at advantage.
let's see.
I have pretty heavy. It's up to you though. I'll let you take
I
it if
have
you want.
+1, so if you have the higher, you should get the advantage with it.
Bam. Why didn't that roll? That was weird. There was a 14 and a 15, and my modifier is +4, so 19. Yeah, 18 or 19.
You see them whisper back and forth to each other, and they say, "Well, you do speak of the oracle, and you say that you wish to speak to our sister who is a friend. I do not know who this Sunny is. Giants do not make friends with you small folk. You are like insects to us. Yes, you are like insects. Puny, we squash you. But it is our sister," and they say almost reluctantly, "who is now the princess, temporarily queen, until we find our father of the storm giants. So it is up to her to decide. We shall bring you to your room, and you shall no longer disgust our guests with your puny insect ways any longer. And then when the queen, when our sister Cerisa has finished speaking to all the other more important giants about the matters of the ordering, then she will speak to you."
Thank you very much. Me and my other friends will leave now. Take us to our room.
And then the 2 storm giant guards flank you guys and begin to walk you back down the stairs. So, sharing the map downstairs again. Here we go, back downstairs. We're not going to need to be tactical about it, but I don't need to pull your tokens up or anything. But let me screen share where I want to. Hold on. The map is frozen on me. They basically walk you downstairs and send you to the eastern corridor, which I'm going to reveal now. And there are these guest rooms, actually, that are sized for you guys appropriately. And they bring you into the one room, and there's beds that are actually your size, and there are quarters and chests and wardrobes and carpets and a desk and a table and even some food that has been already prepared, drinking water, a circular rug and some dressers,
Well,
and you guys are shown in there.
Livy will go jump on a bed and be like, oh my gosh, it's a bed. It's a bed.
But I'd like to warn into Rick Levine and be like, hey, at least we're not dead.
No, not yet, my lord. Not yet, my lord. It's going quite well, I think.
Yes.
I don't know. It seems really odd that they don't know who Sunny is, though. But aren't these people she talked about?
I would just try to save our ass there.
Who is this Sonny you speak of?
A companion for a while before we met you. She was
a cat.
She was our friend.
A cat.
Yes.
What do you
Meow.
mean?
We didn't ask many questions.
Not a cat, but a cat folk. Like,
Like a
She
cat.
came from a faraway land.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So
Okay.
you guys just kind of hanging around in there?
Initially, and then I'm gonna just look to everybody and be like, if our mission was to root out the evil in Maelstrom, the Queen, taken by surprise, must be the only one we can trust. If we can get to her, maybe we can get her to give us the ability to either wander freely or to even possibly follow through with what the Oracle has deemed us worthy of following. If not, maybe one of us from here can at least start looking with a spell or a scroll, maybe. That's my only idea. That's what I had. That's the whole plan.
Perhaps.
Again, I have some cool new toys, so I can I could cast another thing, and I would like to cast clairvoyance, and I'm going to put it because I've seen that room downstairs now. I'm going to put an invisible sensor that will let us know when they're coming back upstairs to us.
Okay, so you are actually downstairs and they were upstairs. You're on level 1 and they were on level 2.
Right.
You're putting it on the second level of the Great Hall where the performance was given.
Yeah, because I can cast it with anything within a mile of where I am.
You create an invisible sensor. I've actually never seen this spell, so I'm just interested.
No, neither have I. Kind of cool.
Let's read about it.
And I can choose to either be seen or hearing, anything in that room, basically.
Okay.
But either or, I can't do both at the same time.
So which do you choose, see or hearing?
I can change it as an action to switch between them.
Oh, interesting.
So in the beginning, I would like to hear.
Okay, so it goes back to it, and all the giant lords, other giant lords from different parts of the realm, not necessarily the Sword Coast. You didn't really get to figure out where they're from, but they're all obviously upset. And the cloud giant, who you figure out his name is Val, basically says, "Surely, Miriam, Ordnium, there is some way that I can pay my way to see the Queen. I'm a very important cloud giant, and I do not have to be sitting here all day. If your sister has a plan to fix the ordering, then I would like to hear of it and not this performance. It's very nice, my dears, but I'm a very busy man." To which Helen Heald says, "If there was anything that was going to get to the Queen quicker, it would be fighting. If you think you have more right than me, then fight me, Val." The other one, the stone giant, his name is Braxo, says, "Those small folk, they spoke of the Oracle. We have not heard of the Oracle's presence in many years. No one has heard of the Oracle in many years. Anam speaks through the Oracle. Anam is the one who shattered the Ordening. Maybe these people are onto something. Maybe we have sinned so far that our giant no longer speaks to us, but the small folk beneath us. To which the fire giant says, "That's bullshit. No, Anam would never trust the small folk over us. These small folk are clearly under the presence of some dragon or something. It's always fucking dragons. Mark my words, a dragon has something to fucking do with this." To which the sisters are like, "I am very sorry, my guest, that those insects have distracted you. Yes, we are very sorry," like my sister says. "I already said that name. Stop repeating me. We are going to go and see how the hors d'oeuvres are coming. We will be right back. I promise that our sister will not be much longer." And they actually step away for a bit. To which the other giant lords seem to be going back and forth, talking amongst themselves for a little while. And Nim and Mirian, the two storm giant sisters, actually disappear. They go northwest.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
okay.
they are not very happy with us and our presence, nor with each other. Is this how these giants act often?
How did some of them talk? Some of them could be the problem.
They're very aggressive towards one another, and they have talked about they're just posturing to want to see the princess or queen first.
Did any of them defend us, or did any of them try to want us killed?
They certainly are very curious on why we know, or you know, of this oracle. The one seemed to be a little more sensible about it and thinking that maybe we might be a help.
And then I just ponder on that as the rest of the group talk.
And I change it to just be able to watch them at this point.
Okay.
To see if the UFC opens up down there.
Yep. Not just yet. Other things in the room. Let's see if there's anything that you didn't end up noticing that would have been maybe worthwhile. I'm just kind of looking around really quickly. And yeah, it seems like they're just kind of they're not impressed by any means, but they're not gone to blows yet by any means. There is a giant also standing out guard outside your room. So about 30 minutes pass. How long does the spell last for?
We used that whole 30 minutes to figure out an awesome plan.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say that 30 minutes has passed. The spell has worn off.
The duration is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Livy still has the ability to talk and speak giant for another half an hour.
Cool. And are you guys just kind of sitting around now, twirling your thumbs until something happens?
No, we were like seriously talking and working out an awesome plan. When we get to meet the princess, I was thinking we'll convince her that we're cool and we'll use her to fucking fuck shit up. Tell her we're gonna go after her dad and the Wormskull throne and solve all the problems. Right?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If your little cat friend was able to speak to her, she probably knows how to speak common.
I honestly don't want her to communicate to you or him, if you know what I mean. I figured Livy was the safest one.
You do know that I was serving the god of storms.
You guys aren't necessarily the most nice people to other people.
Very well with words.
Yeah, sometimes Livy just has a way of making people happy.
It's what I do.
Just because she knows how to make pancakes. And
You three are very peculiar. And again, I'm sorry for the aggression that I showed you, but I am here to help.
We thank you for that.
So 45 minutes have passed now, and you hear the booming steps. Actually, it's not even probably booming. It's a little more fragile. As you hear a female voice outside, and it sounds like Mirian, who's speaking to the giant and says, "How are our guests doing in there? Are they doing anything weird?" To which the storm giant says, "I don't know. I'm not sure. I was just standing guard. I didn't look at them, but they definitely didn't come out. Very good. Well, my sister will see them now. The queen is ready. Get our guest. To which doof, 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 you hear a loud knocking.
Livy goes to answer the door.
Who is it?
It is me, Mirian, sister to Sirisa,
Please
giant
come
princess. Giant princess.
enter.
It appears that my sister's schedule has cleared up a bit, and she will have time to speak to you now.
Excellent.
I'd like Octavius would like all of us to go, if that's cool.
Yes, it is better that you all come. I'm sure she'll be very interested to hear the stories of you and your friends, and the premonitions that the oracle has spoken to you.
Cool.
I feel like Livy would want do an insight check, just kind of like, is there anything any underlying are we safe?
Go ahead, give me an insight.
17.
17, eh? Did you open the door or not?
Yeah, that's what she did. It's like do. Hey.
I mean, 17. You don't really know her. Nothing in her body language or tone of voice seems to be telling you anything otherwise.
Cool. What's up, buddy?
All right, then she will begin to lead you back upstairs to the Great Hall, which I'm going to bump you back over to the other map now. If I sync views, it should be able to do so. Let me try sync client view. Maybe not. How about share?
Hey.
Hey, there's a map.
And then sync client view. Oh, I froze my screen.
Seems to do that sometimes.
It does it every time I share these maps because these maps' actual resolution are massive.
It's hilarious.
So things have kind of changed a bit. Nim, the other sister, is standing over by the pillars. The other giant guard is standing down towards the south, and the other one is flanking you now as you walk up the stairs, and she brings you in. And yes, come right this way into the Great Hall. You'll notice that our other giant lord friends here have had plenty of time to speak to the princess, and now everybody is very happy about our queen sister's promise to fix the orphanage. Isn't that right, giant lord friends? To which they all kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm. While you wait for my sister to come, I should introduce you to the giant lords. This is Val. He is a lord of cloud giants. This is Tartha, Duchess of Fire Giants. Helen Hield, Frost Giant Jarlest, and Braxal, Stone Giant Thane. They all kind of just seem to be awkwardly staring at you as you come in, and then they all saw you here, and she points towards a massive she shell and says, "Have a quick seat. Our sister should be here any moment."
But there's no way we can sit in this thing, can we?
You can climb up it. You literally all could fit on one. They're just massive shells.
As Livy takes off to climb up on one.
The storm giant guard seems to kind of stand behind you now and start to move his foot as if to shimmy you guys over to the same shell that Livy is on.
Yeah, I'll hop up there.
All right, you all hop up on the shell. Warren, you doing anything in particular, or you just following the party?
Just hopping up on there as well.
All right, and she says, it is awfully taking her quite a long time. I shall go see if my sister is ready yet. To which she begins to walk over this way, and then the other frost giant comes in behind you guys, and Nim says, Mirian, Celicia is not up in there. That is where the kitchen is. And then Miriam says, shut up, you idiot.
Yeah.
To which Val says, oh, such idiots. We must do this now. And then spins around and will try to cast a spell at you guys.
At us?
Yeah. Give me a it's only one of these actually. Who's it gonna be? 1d4. 3. That puts it at 1, 2, 3 Reich Livians. Sorry, my friend. He is going to try to hit you with a lightning bolt, but rolls a 14. Or not a lightning bolt, a firebolt. So 14 does not hit you, right?
Yeah, I'm a 15, so
that's incredible. I rolled a 2.
I kind of just step to the side and
you hear Miriam call out, get the assassin traders! Kill them now on the Queen's order. And roll me initiative.
I don't want to do anything.
I really hope we just
horrible idea.
Them all for being.
Hey guys, hi. Sorry.
Yeah, what if we don't want to roll initiative?
I like that.
I mean, we want to talk to the princess. That's what we're here for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Chris, what are you doing, man?
Man, Corey, you were so
advantage.
crafty. I was actually so good. I just wish you would have cast Clairvoyance a little bit later on. I was almost.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I was gonna say if you don't have inspiration, you can take it. But anyway, everyone can have a point of inspiration, anyways, because you guys are about to get your ass kicked by giants.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe.
Oh, sorry, Fogolis isn't here anymore. Let's see what your new level 10 powers get you. Everybody in the initiative, let's throw down. Here we go. The first one up is the client, the guard number 1. And he is, of course, the one standing right behind you. And as you jump out of the way, like, what the hell are you doing? We're here to talk to the princess. You see the other storm giant now right behind you. And he sees Warrendale is closest. And he's going to try to come down with his greatsword, which he gets to swing twice. At you, Warrendale. First attack, 28 to hit. Second attack, 32 to hit. Yikes.
They don't hit. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Just narrowly scrape by on the 32, right?
That's right.
All right. 31 damage to you, my friend.
Yeah. See if it'll work for me. Don't let work. Okay. Yep.
All right. Next up is Miriam, who shrieks and says, "Ew, their blood is disgusting. It's getting everywhere." And she scampers up this way beside her sister. And hides. Warrendale, you're now up.
Well, I suppose what's a good spell? Probably greater invisibility. Yeah, I'm going to cast greater invisibility. That'll let me move my 10 feet as well to get out of the way of this guy a little bit and disappear.
All right, greater invisibility cast.
Level 4. And that's it.
That's it for your turn?
Yes, sir.
No bonus action shenanigans?
No, not at the moment. I don't really have too much I can do with.
Octavius, the massive greatsword of this storm giant comes slamming down, nearly slicing Warrendale in half and cutting into the shell, which breaks the front end of it into a bunch of pieces, shattering it. The shell now is cracking around you as your friends sit slightly elevated above at waist level of this massive storm giant, 30 feet tall. What do you do as the other giant lords behind you now all stand up in position like they're ready to attack you?
How big is this room?
The map is to scale. So from one end to another, we're looking at 150.
All right, and where are we? So we have
75 one way, 150 the other.
All right, so what I'm going to do,
Mm-hmm.
Octavius is very upset. I'm going to drop, am I still on the conch? Or am I still on the shell?
Yep, you're still on the show.
I'm going to drop off the shell, Octavius in his full heavy armor. Gonna slam into the ground. Gonna do a superhero landing on one knee and pound his fist into the ground. And he's gonna cast Wall of Flame. And he's gonna create a wall of flame 60 feet long. I will put that in the chat so you guys can read it. And it's basically going to be 20 feet high, 1 foot thick, and it's going to cross everybody from the top left to the bottom right, and basically separate all of the giants from us except the one that's behind us. So how do I make that line?
Something like that. We'll do.
Yeah, but up like closer to the two giants, Val and Braxo. Yeah, just separate there.
Good.
So the wall of flame is going to go there, so that we can concentrate on this one giant.
Awesome.
And Octavius is going to look and say, "This is not what we wanted. We need to speak to your queen."
That's awesome. So yeah, you slam into the ground, and as you do so, your eyes begin to glow with this energy, and then suddenly a pulse shoots out from you into the ground, and a lick of flame shoots out across towards the giant lords, and then suddenly bursts up in this massive wall of flame, which completely cuts you off between you, leaving you with one storm giant guard. You yell out in giant to stop this, but the giant lords do not seem to be listening. Braxo, the stone giant, will he is going to actually, what'd you say again?
I said, "This is not what we wanted. We need to speak to your princess now."
Okay. Yeah, he is going to begin to position himself, moving let me see here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gets him here. And he is just going to basically position himself here to cut off any kind of exit point you have. He doesn't have enough movement, and he readies an action with his great club if you walk this way. Helen healed. Can they walk through the wall of flame, or it just
if they walk into it, they start with 5d8 of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side of the wall, it deals no. Once they get through the wall, it deals no damage. So the wall is a foot thick, though.
Yeah, she is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, she charges forth yelling, "Prove your worth of Horsnag," and just charges right through the fire and is going to jump through it without a fear. And she has to make a dexterity saving throw to do so. 17.
That'll pass.
So half damage, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it.
All right, give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, why is that there? Wow, fuck, sorry, man. There we go. I got it.
No worries. So half of 31, that puts us at 15. Nice. Yeah, you burn up, and she comes through, parts of her armor and flesh burnt and scarred, but she hollers out in pain and says, "Prove yourself a worthy warrior," and will swing down at you, Octavius, making 2 great axe attacks. 21 to hit. I'm just rolling like crazy. I'm sorry, guys. And 28 to hit.
Both hit.
All right. A total of, that is not going to feel very good, Octavius. 35 damage.
All right.
Next up is Val. He will cast Fly on himself and begin to fly straight up into the sky. Above the wall, it's just 20 feet high, and position himself above you guys. And he is going to try to cast he already cast a spell, so he's just going to wait there in the air above. Next up is Livy.
Alrighty. Yep, so he has named Garnell. He's ready for since our friends are being attacked, and she'll try to reiterate as well. Just to remind us, and she's going to take aim on the string down one. One. Wait, what's the hay? Oh, double click. There we go. 21 and 12. I'm hoping one of those hits.
Who are you going for?
Storm Giant number 1.
All right. For Storm Giant number 1, he has an AC of 16, so 1 attack gets through.
All right. Coolio. And I'll keep note of that. He'll have disadvantage on any con saves against my spells next till the end of my next turn.
Okay.
And we're doing 12 points of fire damage. Pew!
Done. As an arrow shoots forth and lands into his shoulder blade, he lets out a grunt of pain. Anything else on your turn?
Well, there's really no good option, so she's just gonna try to keep the high ground.
Maiden's Garden magically launches back the bolt and locks it in place for another firing round. But that is it for you, as another of the Storm Giants standing guard readies in action so that none may pass him. Top of the initiative, we're going down more, is Tartha, the fire giant Duchess, and she does not have enough movement. Does anyone else have the ability to put that 60-foot line there so that I know where the firewall is? I need my ruler for myself. You basically left click and right click on the same points as I and drag. Thank you. And he can move, what is that, 25 feet?
If she ends her turn in the wall, she'll have to take damage at the end of her turn too.
Wait a second.
I'm sure a fire giant is resistant to that.
Yeah, but she might know that too. So
What the heck? Are fire giants actually? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was gonna say fire giants aren't immune to fire. I was gonna.
Yeah.
But they definitely.
Yeah.
She comes charging through, but she doesn't have enough movement to actually. Or do they move 40? I think they move. No, they only move 30. So yeah, she will sit there, and she actually grabs a chunk of the broken shell and will huck it at you, Livy.
All right.
For a hucking power of 27 to hit.
I will actually take that damage because of my sentinel activity. Within 5 feet of me, I'm able to, or sorry, with the ring within 5 feet of me, I'm able to take the damage of my companion.
Fortunately, I'm not that close to you.
Yeah, you're not within 5 feet.
Damn it! Sorry.
All right. Is it 5? I thought it was more than that.
Let me check.
Might be right though.
Inventory ring, motherfucker! Where the fuck are you? There it is. During presence reaction to ally within 30 feet. So within 30 feet, once per day, I can take a.
I'm definitely within 30 feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 feet sounded really short. Then you take a total of 25 damage as the shell slams into you, Octavio, shattering forth. A wall appears in front of you, Livy, and then you see the form of Octavio standing there brightly, the fiery wall and illuminating him as the shell just breaks over his body and shatters in a million pieces away from you. He now is bloodied, but has taken the blow for you. Next up is Nim, who is screaming, "Don't wreck the place, you idiots! We still have to live here!" Right, Leviant, with a whopping 2. Last in the initiative. What do you got planned, good sir?
All right. Well, the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to rage.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that.
Pent up anger.
Yes, lots of very controlled pent up anger. And when I do that, because of ancestral protectors, a lot, I don't know, 10 or 15 of ghostly spirits start to apparate around Reich. And yeah, I mean, they'll do things if things happen. And not trusting the new weapon yet, he draws his weapon. And who is the guy that's behind us? Because we've hit Hild and Storm Giant number 1, right? Is that correct? Well,
I am muted, sorry. Yes. Both true stories, what you said.
okay. Well, I'm going to attack Storm Giant number 1. Now, what do I have to do to make it so that I attack him?
Got a couple options. You can take your dice and hold it for your attack. So click your attack function, but then hold it and then drag it out onto the picture of the map and drop it on him, and it should roll to hit him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you on that concept. Let's see if I can do that.
Probably the easiest way to go about it. If that doesn't work, though, you can just roll it, and I'll tell you what if you hit or not.
Well, part of the map is not working. Let's see if I just do it this way.
Yep, you hit him. Yeah, you can also drop it on his picture in the combat tracker also.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I have extra tracks, so I will flip on Thunder's Promise as well. So I do my fancy trick. I do
hit.
Yeah. So the first strike will give me a little extra damage. That's not very much, but here's a little extra.
Okay, I'll add that 2 on because that won't go on.
Yeah, plus 5. So it's actually
7.
Yeah, 7 more. And then
okay, on.
And then for the second strike, there's that.
Yep, and that went on too.
And I will kind of step in front of my friends a bit, in between, and impose myself between the Storm Giant number 1 and the group.
Okay, and Octavius, give me a Constitution saving throw. I'm sure that the flaming wall is a con save, but let me just double check. Wall.
Is it a concentration?
Yeah, it is.
It is concentration.
You maintain it, you beast. All right. As Reich Liviant positions himself on the edge of the broken shell, he then engages in battle with the Storm Giant, who tries to swing at him. He jumps out of the way and lands a strike into his hand. The giant falls back in pain, and then he slices out his stomach again. Now positioning himself in front of you, he's going to direct his anger towards you. And he will, holy shit, what is this little juicy ability he's got here? Each creature, oh my good God, what the heck? Well, at a point he can see each creature within 10 feet of that point. Okay, 10
Okay,
feet.
well, if he's going to attack us,
yeah,
he has disadvantage on any attack roll that isn't against me.
He is going to throw a lightning bolt. Literally, like Zeus grabs it out of the air and just sparks up in his hand, and he chucks it right at you guys. Everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Raging first creature you hit with an attack.
I will keep that in mind, though. Remind me that for next round.
Wait, while you're raging, the first creature you hit with an attack in your turn becomes a target of the warriors. Okay, yeah. So my warriors have swarmed onto him as well.
Awesome. You see the ghostly spectrals of Reich Liviant's ancestors charge forth in battle and start harrying this guy from his ankles, climbing on his legs and stabbing into him. It looks like everybody who didn't succeed on a 17 or higher.
Oh, sorry. What a dex save? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure this all out. Sorry about that, buddy.
No worries. We're all learning here. We're all learning.
Yeah, we all got new shit. So, dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
Bam.
17 or higher. Oh my God, these guys are fucking beastly.
That's a fucking 1.
Well, you're going to take 40 fucking lightning damage if you did not succeed a 17 or higher.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm out.
You out?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
But actually, maybe not. So give me just 1 second. So was that an attack roll or was it not?
That was not an attack roll. That was a kind of like a spell.
Damage, and it's half, right?
Sorry?
You said 42?
No, 4D and full damage because no one succeeded.
Livy did.
Oh, wait, Livy did. 20 to Livy.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry,
I would like to use my spirit shield to reduce the damage by 2d6.
Okay. On everybody or just you?
30 within 30 feet of me takes damage. I can use my reaction to reduce the damage by 3d6 on level 10.
Awesome. So, Octavius, be alive. You're at 51, right, Octavius, before?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put you back there.
All right. So if I right click, sure.
So you're now taking 32 damage. That still put you out?
Yep.
Yep.
There's a chance. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So 32 damage, guys, instead of 40. You take 8 less damage than you took.
That might be just one person. Let me see. I want to do it right. You know.
No worries. We're already here, so we're learning.
Yeah.
We'll fix it next time. If not, that ends his attack though. That's his big bad attack. It's pretty big and bad.
So did you put that damage on us?
I did not know.
All right, 40. Right. So
Yeah. And don't forget, you might have resistances to lightning. I can't remember. I think Warren does, maybe.
I do.
Okay.
I used to,
Yeah.
but I don't anymore.
Miriam squeals out, "Oh, you got one of the assassins! Good job! Get the rest!
We are not assassins.
Queen will be very happy." Warren, you're up next.
Well, I'm severely limited. For my standard action, since I'm still invisible, I'm going to hit mage armor so I can at least have a chance of doing something. And I guess as a bonus action, I'm going to use my pendant of the wind there to fly or levitate.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll bump up my AC. I'll fix that in a second, and then I can go 30 feet up. So I'm just going to levitate 30 feet up. That way, hopefully, if they drop another freaking thing, I can survive till the next round anyway.
All right. So you're just flying out of the way?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Next up is Octavius. Death saving throw, my friend. I apologize. These guys hit like fucking trucks. And that is a 1 success. Wait, doesn't your ring have an ability when you go down?
I thought so too, and I tried to check it out, but I didn't get much time.
No worries, no worries. Let's learn this. You got a dope ass ring of suffering. Let's not forget about that.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, reading things better. When that... Okay. A spell is still an attack, right? It attacked us.
Sorry. Read it to me verbatim.
Okay. Until the start of your next turn, the target has disadvantage on any attack roll against you.
Yeah, so it's not an attack roll.
Hold on. And when it hits an attack other than you, when the target hits a creature other than you with an attack, that
he can't have disadvantage on something he's not rolling for. He's not rolling on it. You guys are rolling, so that's
okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure because if we could, because then he would have resistance against the lightning. So
yeah, no, definitely, I completely understand that, but I don't think it works that way in this situation.
No, absolutely.
We can take a look at it another time, but for now we'll go with that. Dan, for some reason the ability didn't save over, so let me open up my Google Docs and see if I can find the exact writing for it. And for now we're going to go on ahead while I try to look for that. I'll pull up my docs in a second. On my phone actually is probably the easiest way to do that. And Braxow is actually going to continue to stand there. He's not engaging on you guys. Helen Hilda says, "This puny one has already fallen. No way he's friends of Hoshnag." And that will mean that she continues forth to Reich Liviant. And we'll try to swing at you, my friend. Is there anything I have to worry about?
No, because it's only against the creatures that I attacked. So it was.
All right, here she goes. With a 17 to hit, might be a miss.
No, I'm only at 15.
And double hit then for you. Because the next attack was a 20. And she rolls a total of, my God, you guys are going to hate me, 38 damage.
Still up.
All right. And her Val, now floating above you, is going to need Livy to give a constitution, I believe. Let me see. No, a strength check, actually.
Oh. A strength check, not a save?
Save, sorry.
Yay!
Yeah, so you suddenly feel this giant's presence over you as he has casted telekinesis, and you just are sucked in. Your arms no longer can really hold Maiden's Garden. It doesn't fall out of your hand, but you can't really operate it that well. And he picks you up in the air. You are now restrained by his telekinesis spell. You are now up.
Hey, Chris, you said 35 with that was what they hit me for.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so I'm guessing Livy does a strength check or save to try and break free.
If you want to break free of the
But hang on, he picked her up. How high again is she?
she is like 20 feet off the ground.
She's content to just kind of keeping her finger on the trigger in the hopes that maybe one day she'll be able to pull it as a reaction.
All right. So sorry, are you attacking or?
No, because like if she's able to just wiggle her fingers, sure, but I'm pretty
you can still shoot. You're just shooting at disadvantage.
Yeah, it's like she can't aim or anything. You never know. You never know. Maybe I'll roll 220s. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, no. So that misses. A bolt fires wide. Next up is the guard standing guard. Tartha is going to finish her movement, and she's seeing Livy nice and restrained is going to swing at you.
You don't want to. You don't want to.
She wants to.
No, she doesn't.
I believe she gets to do so at advantage.
Oh, she does.
Wow. I think she literally, is that even possible? Missed. 18 on an advantage? What the hell?
I'm gonna cast shield just to make sure.
God, the giant missed at advantage. Jesus.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And next attack is a 27 at advantage.
Okay, that hits.
You take a total of 25 damage.
All right. Ow. Can't really do much.
Nim is squealing. They're almost down. Keep going. Reykjavians, you're now up. I'm still looking, Dan, by the way. Of course I can't find it now.
We're so dead.
Oh, I found it. So, sorry to cut you off, Corey. The one who endures ability. When you fall unconscious, roll a religion check. So let's roll a religion check. Now would be a good time to roll natural 20 again. Dang. You got inspiration. If there was ever a time to spend it, it'd probably be now.
I will do that. The religion, since I have been chosen by all matter, is coursing through, my veins. So I'm going to do another beautiful and awesome religion check here.
23 is enough to hit the second tier of this thing where your spell slots. Oh, no, sorry, just half your HP comes back.
Half my HP comes back?
Yep. And you rise again, now being brought to the brink of death. You suddenly see that, kind of like actually Reykjavian's eyes, you shoot forth with this beaming golden light, and this aura starts to surround around Octavius the Undaunted, as once again, the one who endures has endured a brutal assault, and he is brought back from the brink of death, ready to fight once more. You cannot use this ability again until next time. I
am awesomely happy. That's cool.
Yeah.
I will wait until my turn, but then I will fucking crush all giants.
Sorry, Reykjavians. Go ahead and take your turn.
All right. Yes, mighty pissed off. Break is going to attack the same giant storm giant number 1. And this is not the wisest decision in the world, but we're going to do that. So we are going to die. It's going to be fun. I have 28.
28 is definitely a hit.
And then the other side is with this. And 26. Great.
26 point damage onto the storm giant.
No, it's
Oh, both.
20 for the second hit.
Yep.
And when, because my protectors are there, what does it do? Does that? Okay. The first hit is for the target. Okay, so there's all that. So the first one is going to be 2d6 plus 6. It's 11 plus 11 plus 12, so 23 on the first hit.
Okay, I think the damage is going on to him, but I'll add the what on top of the 11?
12.
12 on top of the 11, so 12 more. Okay.
And the second hit is that 15.
15 also went on to him.
Mm-hmm.
Not bloodied yet, to just understand what you're up against, as this
No, I fully understand.
is a massive, probably you faced off against giants before, frost giants, fire giants, even cloud giants. The storm giant is the most mighty and strongest warrior of all the giants you've faced off against, and this is just a guard.
Yeah, absolutely. And he would shout out. He said, and he would say, "We were sent here by the oracle, and I served the Lord God Stromnus." I think I said that right. Please stand down. We come here in peace. And
Awesome.
that is what it is. I do not have a bonus action or anything because I'm a fucking barbarian, and all we have for that is raging.
So something interesting happens though. As give me what kind of charisma check do you want to make?
For me?
Yeah, you pick your best charisma ability.
They're all the same.
Okay, roll it at advantage.
I would like to do that as a persuasion check. Why not? Because it doesn't matter. Because, like I said, they're all the same.
20. Braxo, the stone giant, says, "He spoke of Stromnus. That is your god. These small folk know more than we are letting on. This is a great sin. We must not attack them."
And so if he speaks that and he goes, and I would identify myself, I am the my brain farted. Oh man. I am the bringer of the light, right, or something like that. I don't remember what I am exactly, because we haven't done it enough times. But he would identify himself and lift up his mask, which would show that he has those blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And look directly at that person.
Yeah, so Braxo, the stone giant, seems like he's getting ready to come help you. However, the other giants, Mirian and Nim, say, "Do not listen to the small folk. They are trying to corrupt your brains like evil snakes. Crush them all. And this is the Queen's orders. Queen Sarissa demands that you kill the assassins." And the storm giant will go forth and get ready to kill. Not sure where anybody is. It's going to be unfortunate. He doesn't charge his lightning strike, luckily. So on to you, Mr. Rycliviant. This is at disadvantage?
It is, yes, it is.
On first strike only or all strikes?
On let me read. Just 1 second.
Oh my god. This guy rolled an 18 at disadvantage. I believe that's going to do it. And
only attack roll that isn't against you. No, it's actually when it isn't against me.
That's even worse. Well, he still hits you with an 18, I'm assuming?
Oh, wait, no. No. While I'm raging, the first creature you hit with the attack is the target aware and will hinder its attacks until the start of your next turn. That target has disadvantage at any attack roll that isn't against you, and when it targets a creature other than you with an attack, it has resistance against that type of damage. So yes, it's not against me.
Okay. So 18 and 26 to hit. I'm going to assume they do so.
Well, they both do. And I mean, if you do more than 20 damage, I'm going to drop.
Yeah, you're almost certainly going to drop. You do. You definitely do. You're unconscious. Miriam says, they're weakened now. Finish them off. Leave no survivors. Warndell, you see your friends dropping like flies. What are you doing?
Octavius is up, though, right?
Yes, he's back up. Livy is being squashed by a telekinesis spell, and Reich Leviant just went down under the Storm Giant's massive sword.
I saw that look that Octavius gave. I don't know. It's been so long since I've done this. If it's called delay or triggered or whatever it is, but I'm looking to go after Octavius to move myself down initiative.
Yep, sure.
Whichever one it would be. That way he can go first.
Yeah, just hold your action, I guess. I'll push you down.
There we go. Yeah.
Octavius, you're now up.
Being reviving from this whole thing, Octavius he's infuriated with religious awe. Is that a way to put something?
Yeah, sure.
And he's just angry. He's unfortunate that this isn't going his way. But he also feels as though the sisters are hiding something, and he's wondering if anyone has actually spoken to the princess. And he yells, "We are not your enemies." And he will pound a destructive wave off of his hammer. Here's what it does. That's what I'm doing to as many people as I can get within, I believe, a 30-foot radius. And this is going to really hit hard. They have to succeed on a Constitution throw. Not my friends, just the people that I choose within the 30-foot radius this attacks to. It gives 5d6 thunder damage as well as a 5d6 radiant damage.
Damn.
And they can be knocked prone. So.
Okay, so first, it's a Constitution saving throw on Helenhild. She rolls a 13, which I'm assuming is a fail.
Fail.
Storm Giant rolls a 23, which I'm assuming is a success.
Success.
Tartha, the Friar Duchess, rolls a 24, success.
Yeah.
And Val, the Storm Giant, or Cloud Giant, rolls a 27.
Okay, so anybody who succeeds on its saving throw takes half as much damage and isn't knocked prone. Okay. But the ones who do take full damage and are knocked prone.
Okay. Helenhild is going upside down to signify being prone.
Hold on, let me see if that's enough. 6, yeah. So here's 10 D6. Half of it is thunder damage, half of it is radiant damage.
Okay. Should be able to click the spell, but that works too. All right, 33. So let's do this. Half of that is 16. So Storm Giant takes 16 more damage, putting him at... is he bloodied? I don't even think he's bloodied yet. Not bloodied. Helenhild takes 33 damage, putting her at that.
And after I'm done, I'm just going to yell, "Has anyone actually spoken to the princess?"
To which the giant sisters both at the same time say, "Of course we are talking to our sister."
I mean the other giants.
None of them answer you.
Think about it.
Warren,
if you haven't seen her... Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep talking.
No, I said, think about it. If you haven't seen her, then maybe she doesn't even want this. If her plan comes through her sister's, then maybe it's her sister's plan. And then I'll end my turn.
Okay. Yeah. Warren, right.
Is your brain working good, Chris? Because you're going to need a bit of math here.
Oh boy, I got my calculator.
All right. Warren will rise up a little bit, and nobody can see him since he's invisible, but gives a little flick of his wrist, and the scroll pops into his hand. He looks at all of his friends dropping around below him into this prone giant on the ground and this cloud giant that's in front of him. He's going to open up his chain lightning spell. Now, I have this awesome new ability that lets me double spells, but just to keep it simple on your end, Chris. So we're going to target whatever one is prone. It doesn't matter. Let's do Helen Hild. Let's see. She needs to make a dexterity saving throw. It's going to be a DC 19.
Okay.
It's gonna be a disadvantage because she's prone.
Yep. She fails even even not at disadvantage, so she's failed.
And then I get to target 3 more off of that, which is going to be Braxow, the Storm Giant, and Tartha. So they would need to make dex saves.
Okay. I want to just so you understand, it does seem like Braxow is about to come help you guys.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Okay, so I'll do Val then.
Okay, so Val, Tartha, and Storm Giant.
Val, Tartha, and yes, correct.
All right, here comes the saves for them. Storm Giant, 18. Val, 8.
Fails.
And Tartha, fail. Wow.
Okay, so this is the damage for that. It is 55.
You say doubled it, or is that already doubled?
Nope, that's not yet. Just do that part, and then I'll do the rest for you.
Okay.
And it is lightning damage, depending. I don't know who has what. But...
Oh shit! I bet you Storm Giants are immune to lightning. Yes, so he is not at that. He's completely immune to that damage of Storm Giant, but the other ones, I believe, have no such immunity. So 55 to you is mathematics. Got it in. Helen Hild, bloodied. Val is at not bloodied. Tartha is also not bloodied. But as you see this destructive wave boom up from Octavius and literally like a shock wave just kind of send everyone, or at least Helen Hild, flying, and the other one they're all trying to stand their guard while the ground itself is breaking, you let forth this powerful chain of lightning which shoots through and shocks through every single one of them in this radius. What else do you got for me?
All right. And then I can use my sorcery points. It's going to cost me 6 points, but basically the whole thing again. But I'm going to target Storm Giant is immune, so let's just do Helen or Tartha.
Okay.
So let me mark off my thing so I don't lose track here. 1, 2, 3.
So she just takes the damage, or does she have to save again?
Nope, it'll be the whole spell all over again.
Oh.
So basically, they all need to make dex saves.
Helen or Tartha rolled a 19 this time, or 22. Sorry. So she succeeds. Does it just
take half?
She takes half, and then everyone else still needs to do it.
Yep.
All right.
It'll be those same. The Storm Giant I know is immune, but he's the only one in range. So.
Val fails, Tartha succeeds, and Helen Hild fails.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Oh boy, that's a lot of.
Ooh, and I'm gonna re-roll those 2 ones because I can.
Yep.
So it would actually be 47 plus. It'd be 50 plus 51.
51 damage. Holy shit, Warndo.
That is bonus. I gotta mark that off too.
That is disgusting. So Tartha, badly bloodied. Helen Hild, 51 on top of that is knocked unconscious. You actually knocked the fucking giant out. Good job. And Val, 51 on top of that is also badly bloodied.
And I'll do the same thing, sort of. We have no need for this fighting. What is this? I think the sisters are just manipulating a lot of you fools.
Braxow charges and says, I will not be sinned for your mistakes. These are speaking of the gods. And he'll jump and try to grab onto the back of the Storm Giant, grappling him. That's going to be a contest between the two of them. So they're both pretty freaking strong. But 23 on the Storm Giant.
Come on, dude.
And a 14 on that was a terrible roll by him. Goddamn. 14 on Braxow. The storm giant pushes him out of the way and says, "What you're doing is treason, Braxow." Finally, though, after all this chaos and the destructive wave is echoing out and the bolt of lightning is still jumping from giant to giant, you hear from the southern reaches of this great hall 2 massive doors swing open. And loud, booming footsteps come plowing through. As you see, I'm going to share a picture. A female giant, that one in particular, comes storming out and say, "By King Hekaton's will, what is going on here?" And everybody stops immediately what they're doing.
Octavius will actually completely stop and drop to a knee with his weapon in front of him.
Nice. What's everybody else doing?
Livy's just hanging out.
I'm hiding still.
Yeah,
I'm dying.
you're dying. The sisters step down and say, "Sister Theresa." And then she says, "I am Queen Theresa." To which they say, "Yes, Queen Sister Theresa. We have discovered that assassins have infiltrated Maelstrom and are looking to kill you. Yes, sister, they are looking to kill you, just like they killed Mother Neri. Small folk cannot be trusted. You know,
These are lies, my queen. These are lies.
Sons.
These are lies, my queen.
She steps
We come from the Oracle.
Talk about the Oracle.
and says, "And who told yous, my sisters, that you could make the call to kill these alleged assassins? I gave no such order. You giant lords dare go against my will? Daughter of King Hekaton, temporary queen of all giants." To which they all now drop down to their knees as well. Livy, you feel the telekinesis fall down to you, and they apologize all and say, "Queen, we're sorry, Queen. We did not know. We thought that this was your order."
If we're out of initiative right now, can
Yes,
I
we are.
cast a healing spell for everybody, even the giant?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to hopefully get Rick Leviant, Livy, and if Warrendale's even hiding it, but he's in scope, I am going to cast.
Hit Hilton well as well.
You can't see me, but I don't know if it's like a radius thing.
I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds. I'm gonna go for a fucking big ass one.
Awesome.
So this is what Mass Cure Wounds is. Oh no, it's raised it. Sorry. Funny. That's Mass Cure Wounds.
Awesome.
And that should be everybody within the radius of what I want, so 30 feet from a point, and that's within 60 feet of me.
All right. So yeah, everyone gets that.
And the giant as well. So
Everyone,
hopefully the giant revives.
and take that, and I'll give it to all the giants, or I'll remember to give it to all the giants. She says to her sisters, Miriam and Neem, "I know you are looking out for the giants of all kind, and I know that our mother's death has affected us all tremendously. My heart hurts just as yours, but we cannot go around just accusing anyone of being an assassin just because of their size. I will speak to these small folk in my... Sorry, give me a second here. In the throne room. We will have council shortly. Collect yourselves and get ready. I will hear what you have to say. I must speak to my advisor. You'll be properly dealt with, healed, and treated like guests, because you are now guests of Maelstrom, and we will speak shortly. I apologize for my sister's misguidance." And you see this girl. She's younger by far than the two other sisters. But her eyes are kind of tired looking and worn, and you see this exhausted look on her face that ages her beyond what her youth should be. And she turns around and looks to all of them and says, I'm very disappointed to how we all acted today. Make sure that our guests are treated fairly and humbly. Everyone is dismissed. To which one of the giants says, but Sarissa, I have been waiting all day to speak to you. This is actually Val that says that. And she will say, I said everybody is dismissed. You will wait your turn, Val, and then speak to me when I say I am ready. Yes, my queen. I am sorry. And she walks out back down to the throne room. To which a couple more guards now fill in.
Okay, I would like to impose myself in between. If Braxall is leaving, I would like to impose myself between him and leaving.
Braxall is not leaving. Sarissa is leaving.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought they were dismissed, so they were leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of misleading. No, but they're just dismissed from the council of the queen right now to go back into sitting into the room. Everyone back down to their quarters or where they're staying. So I guess some of the giants would go head back down to their quarters, and we'll say that Braxall does begin to walk away. You can impose yourself.
Yeah, and I look up to this hugely imposing figure, and kneel in front of it and said, "I am the protector of the light. Thank you for seeing that stromness is within me."
He says to you, "Stromness is not a god that I serve. But I respect the god's will nonetheless. And if you say that you have spoken to a god of us, to the oracle, or to Stromness in any way, then I will not tempt the fate of the gods. Do not think of it as a favor for you, but as a service to them."
You're very wise, Stone Giant. You're very wise. And he does step off and joins back over with his friends.
Absolutely.
Party.
So yeah, some of the giants begin to go head downstairs towards their quarters. Helen Hild would sit up and say, she'll actually start laughing. Who was the mighty warrior that knocked me unconscious? Which one of you, puny freaks, have that power in you? Was it you? I knocked you unconscious. I know it wasn't you. She points to you, right, Livian, or to Octavius.
No, it wasn't me. It was a good boat, though, my friend.
Yes, you are proven, maybe not as individuals, but as a group. I could see why Harshnag would find you worthy of friends. And she says, may we bout again one day and find out who truly is the more worthy warrior. And she leaves the room. The other giants kind of go about sitting in the room, annoyed, impatient. And that leaves you guys kind of to do with what you will. A couple more guards, these ones unarmed. Apparently, Queen Sarissa has now declared that no giant shall hold a weapon to you while in Maelstrom. And they offer to bring you down to your rooms and tend to the wounds that they've dealt with. Queen Sarissa will speak to you shortly. And that is where we will end the session for tonight. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for watching, anyone who did. And until next time, we will see you again. Peace out.
See you later.